the TMNT4 episode.
You're gonna have to rewatch all of them.
I don't know, we talked about stuff, and Mike talked about stuff. I kind of sat quietly, and
Mike talked about stuff. Would that be a good episode name?
it would be accurate. I don't know if it'd be a good name, but
Just name it not Nest Kamikaze and not Cypher.
yes.
Fuck you, puzzle people.
Apparently we're scaring withheld.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure that guy's scared of his own shadow.
Oh,
Fuck
Mike,
is this thing following me? No!
Mike is here. Oh, his hike was canceled.
We're on the air, by the way. LOL.
I know.
Yep.
That's fine.
I love this newspaper. It's great.
Yeah, this is the best newspaper.
The best around.
I lost my belt. He's all
Nice, I made that
stolen.
in
We're
10
taking
minutes.
off my pants.
Damn it.
Yeah, the stories at the bottom are fantastic.
Look,
He's
he
all
come back
stolen.
home. I found a key. 1-800 PJ's pants. Someone mentioned hockey. That's a good point. Austin, what is this?
What's happening?
I'm scared.
I hear crazy shit happening.
I feel like I'm in the engine room of a spaceship that I should be allowed near.
Sinister 1 just released the Rancor.
Oh shit. Oh, Boston won yesterday. Or today, rather.
Wow, that's huge. Oh god, that doesn't even.
Are you
have a
sure they
problem.
weren't just getting obliterated?
No, they won 4-3, another like overtime victory.
Oh.
Well, so when do they play it? Wednesday? Oh, that's ages away. Oh man. 5-1. Hilarious. Well, the playoffs just because they confuse me because I don't know enough about the teams to understand why people are beating other people. So I see some of them, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I still want to get how Nashville beat Detroit.
Don't question it.
4 games to 1.
Okay.
Oh man, I really want to read the story that's to the left of this paper.
Wow.
TH is XY. XY.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what could that be?
TH is XY. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I miss Fiesel already.
Yeah, I wish he was here.
Wish he hadn't stolen my belt.
that was really rude of him.
So who registered the PJ's pants and phone number?
My pants did.
Come hang out. So that's, your pants were just walking down the street and they found a key.
Yeah, they've just seceded from me.
Just so I know, by the way, how long did the show go on last week?
4.5 hours.
Because the Skype call finished about an hour and a half after I left.
Yeah, I hate the
Yeah.
how it grabs the Windows part.
Well, SCFH will just grab the video and not the whole window.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Huh.
Like
Well, who's this guy?
for paint.net. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Deserect's at my place
Oh.
for the show.
I see.
Nice.
You're showing him all of our strats.
all the secret backside information.
Yeah.
Does this mean the sex tapes are going to leak, Dougfist? I know you want to get them out there so people can grade your performance, but come on, they're private.
Wait,
You'll
wait,
get a
wait, should
letter
I-
in the mail with the price on it
Should I-
any day now.
He wants his royalties.
Should I make it unlisted then on my YouTube channel? I thought you wanted people to know.
I thought it was private link only.
No,
Oh.
no, not at all, actually.
Okay.
About as unprivate as possible. In fact, it was in the latest SDA update.
Shit, was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 hours 54 minutes 28. I didn't actually.
Yeah.
So they hid it under the Call of Duty Black Ops run because no one would want to watch it.
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
quick audio test meeting Skype. Hello, I haven't even seen the stream channel yet, but actually, I don't think you can hear me very well. Hello. Okay. Let me know what you think.
So where's Andre?
I just sent him a message, so hopefully, hopefully he'll be here.
Hopefully.
He'll show up at your house with like 3 beers or something. He'll be like, "Hey man, it came as soon as I got your text."
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. Hopefully he will show up, but I can talk about Taz stuff if
If not,
somehow he
Diesel-
decides to flake out on us, which would be pretty messed up. I
Diesel
could-
can do it. Where's he from?
Yeah, where's his... Yeah.
Where's he from? Like,
Yeah.
in the world?
Yeah, in the world.
I know that I think right now he lives in one of the Carolinas.
Is he American by default though?
He is American, and I remember the first time I talked to him, like, I don't know, it must have been like some kind of filter on Ustream, because that's what he was using at the time, and it made him sound like he had an accent, but then I talked to him on Skype the other day, and he has like no accent. So I'm sorry to let down people that were like, oh,
Sorry.
he's have this crazy accent. 'cause
I
he doesn't.
don't know how to do no accent.
Are you sure that... Oh, wait a minute, I'm not even logged in. This is a problem.
Is
Are
this
you sure
no-
that the deli cat isn't just an acronym for like 20 different people?
I think a deli cat
Oh.
sounds like a delicious pet to
It
have.
is.
It would
Yeah.
bring you delicious treats all day. Come here, a deli cat.
Did you update the stream title so it says episode 10?
Yeah, I did, and now something's happened to it, and it's gone back to 9. Let me just fix that. There we go. I was looking at that thing and I was like, round 10, huh? That's, different to what I thought it was.
Round 10.
So is this Mario pleading for me to come back home?
Or did Mario find the key to my pants?
Or is it the key to your pants?
I'm not sure. I don't know if my pants found the key. I'm not allowed to talk to them.
They moved out,
Yeah, it was part
started
of the...
their own business.
We need a mediator every time we have to try and communicate.
What's this paper called? Just news. KO News.
It's the KO news, yeah. Like who got knocked out, who did the knocking out.
Fantastic paper.
Yes, it's really terrific stuff.
Every day, it's great.
Okay, Deseret created the race in SRL. I might actually join you this time, because I always forget.
Oh wait, there's a
Oh,
race?
man.
Wait, oh, it's a multi-race.
Whoa. Fiesel always made it its own game or something.
Yeah. Weasel had the power to
They're
do
mad 'cause
so.
You did it wrong.
Maybe Fiesel is going to set up a race and race against this one.
Oh, I need to find this Google Doc. Normally I bookmark it, and for some reason this week I thought, you know what, that's too convenient.
What's the game name that you guys use?
He doesn't save it. He temporarily makes it because he can, and then he deletes it afterwards.
Yep.
Or, you know,
Okay.
he has the power. Because he is Fiesel, and he has, I think he's a half-op,
Alright.
which is sort of like,
I have the power to end it.
you know when a tranny starts their surgery but doesn't have enough money? He's like one of those. On half-op. Did you get it, PJ?
What?
Did you get it?
No.
Oh. I'll write it down later. Oh,
It was a good try, though. Good try.
Yeah, I know, I'm struggling. It's been a long week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this weekend lasted about 40 days for me.
Well, I had the weekend of my dreams where it was like, hey, what am I going to do this weekend? How about nothing? And I was like, yes! And I got to do nothing, and then apparently doing nothing's not allowed, so something has to go wrong at the last minute.
I keep discovering things that I've said over the weekend and don't remember.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
have.
of like looking for Easter eggs.
Well, it's like when you find out that kid is actually yours. You know, there's that dweeby kid lives across the street, and you're like, I hate that kid. Then it turns out, actually your kid. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
I
thought
played basketball with him growing up.
I thought he used to just like come sleep over every night for no reason. Are we 0-9 in our
Yeah.
win record?
We've lost every episode.
We have.
Don't worry, this is the one that we're gonna win.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll
We
break
have to
that
do is
record.
be sinister.
How do you win the episode?
You don't.
You probably disconnect me from the call. That's about the only way it's gonna happen.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, Mr.
That's what the
Cocky.
timer's for.
We'll take you out.
After 9.5 minutes, we
All
just
we
get
have to do
yeah.
is just start like a big countdown clock in the middle of the stream with Sinister's name up above it. And then as he gets near the end and he starts to get tense, we'll stop it like a second from the end and say like, you passed this time, Sinister.
and then immediately disconnect.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you
Well,
next
hey,
week. Someone cancels.
I am the see you guys are making me out like I'm the substitute teacher here. You
You're,
know?
no, you're the friend zone guy.
I'm the friend zone guy.
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
like,
the substitute teacher. You're the hero.
Yeah, we don't really want to hook up with you, but you know that other hot girl left the bar, so we're gonna settle and take you home tonight.
we'll settle for Sinister.
And my dog
Yeah.
went to bed already.
Once the beer goggles are on, then that's when you guys say, "Oh man, Sinister's looking kind of
Yeah.
good over there."
Yeah.
My cousin's out of town for this weekend, so
I just discovered that my other option is my son.
and I don't like him anyway. He got bad grades this week. Yeah, but a casual, creepy joke before the show.
Yep.
I like how Adele has like, sorry I'm running late, and Feasible hasn't even. Feasible just wanders off before the show.
Yeah, Feasel's unapologetic.
No, he says right here, I need to sign off for a few minutes. I'll be back.
He does it every week though as well.
So, it's fine.
I know, I just love the way it's like, okay, let's prepare for the show. Oh, Feasel's not going to be here for a little bit. Is he? No, it's fine, okay, off he goes.
But wait, without
Yeah.
Feasel, we can't cover for anybody who's missing.
I know, that's the problem.
Because we don't have the...
Yeah, the master of
Feasel
1,000
voice.
voices. The
Yeah.
man of 1,000,000 identities.
That's alright, Sinister can
Agent.
do voices. You'll be Feasel if he can't make it.
I don't know if I can do Feasel.
You just have to use the thickest accent you can for whatever language you want. That will be him.
That'll do it.
I still can't get over how you spell Segway.
Sigu?
Yeah. Sieg.
Yep.
Segway. Where else is U-E, way, in English?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
I
It's
know
probably
it-
not an English word.
No, but I
English.
thought the Americans would like either re-spell that or pronounce it differently, because you guys have a habit of doing that with pretty much every word that's of foreign origin. You're just like, you know what, we're going to spell this differently.
Yep.
Or we're going to pronounce it stupidly, like baloney.
We're gonna go... yeah.
Well, Bologna sounds dumb, so let's call
Yes.
it baloney.
Baloney is a fantastic example. I remember when I found out how to pronounce or how to spell that. I was like, are you sure? I don't think
Bologna?
that's right.
I'm pretty. That's not. No, get out. Get out of here. Bologna? No, Bologna sounds gross. I don't want that in my sandwich.
Yeah, I totally would not eat Bologna.
Bologna. Well, I like bolognese as well.
Wait, this race is getting dangerously close to almost happening. We have to make sure that someone doesn't ready up.
I won't ready. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
Oh man.
Oh,
wow.
Darkwing Duck wins the prize.
Yeah, Suede.
Suede is a great example.
That is a terrific example.
But I think he's an English teacher, isn't he? So that doesn't count.
Yeah, we can discount that. It's too early for that, Duckfist. We're not ready. We're not ready for this.
Yes, I am prepared.
Are you totally ready?
Look at me considering that money.
The thing is I know which one that is because of which one isn't racist.
Don't give it away, okay? PJ doesn't know, and he hasn't answered the question yet. I told him that there was going to be a quiz on this episode, and he was like, okay.
Yeah.
What happened here? What's this picture?
Well, you can't see it very well, but on the screen, on the TV, it says 219.97. And that was when I got sub 220 on Mr. Sandman, which is like the impossible dream.
And then your hand started eating your face.
Well, yeah, the reason for that is because you'll notice in the previous picture, there's a DVD recorder right below my TV, and the power was not on, so therefore it was not recorded. So, yeah. So to all you fledgling speedrunners out there, you should always record. Always, always, always record, no matter what.
Everything.
Yeah. Because what happened was, see, this is what happened. All right, I was doing the individual.
Story. You should do this during the stream. Or or just practice.
What are you doing? You're ruining content.
I know.
Sorry.
You're no longer invited. We're gonna find a second backup
Rejected.
substitute.
We'll go
Alright.
get Sonister. Much nicer. From Pakistan. Moved to America. Sorry, moved to
Sonister.
moved to Canada. Sorry, got that wrong. Lives up there. Plays Super Punch Out. Very good at it.
That's fine.
Plays Ninja Gaiden 2.
Okay, apparently my mic was crappy. You can hear me better now.
Oh, well, you
Yes.
sound the same.
Maybe. You mean awesome. Alright, great.
Yes.
It's got that Duckfist producer voice. Sonister.
See, we're gonna
Oh.
lose this episode already because we only have 3 of the people that we need.
Yeah.
I guess I count 4.
So I was
you know.
thinking, as a cue to start the episode, I was gonna just say like, and here we have our hosts, and I'll aim your
We
guys'
could do that
names,
if
and
you
then
want.
that'll be the cue. All right.
You do have the voice for it. Have you been waiting all this time to pitch that idea? Is that why Desi's at your house? He's rubbing your shoulders like, come on, Duckfist, you deserve this. Ask them.
All right. Whatever.
Hey,
No,
Duckfist, are
it
you
came
still
to me
muted
this
so it just
morning in
sounds
a
like-
revelation. All right. You must know.
Oh.
Okay.
You don't want to know what I was doing, but it came.
Well, it was the morning, so I'm pretty sure it was one of 3 things.
Did you lose the belt?
It
Let's
wasn't.
not give away now.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man,
Let's
PJ,
get Diesel back.
can we take a bouncy castle to Awesome Games Done Quick and set it up in that, courtyard?
Yeah.
Because I realised that would be the greatest idea ever.
Oh, there it goes.
Yes.
Oh, whoa, hello.
Easy has arrived.
Easy feasy.
Like to keep it easy and cheesy.
Did you go get some food, Fiesel? Was that what you did?
No, I go into the office to use the internet there, so I don't have to worry about something going wrong at my place.
What a champion.
Yeah, it's freaking pouring outside. I'm
'Cause
like,
the
I
best-
can't see through my glasses now.
Best thing is Fiesel doesn't even have a job.
Right, no, I go into an office. I didn't say my office.
Everyone's screen.
Echo! Oh my god!
Echoes.
Got the echo.
Wait.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Andre.
Sorry about that.
That's
No
okay.
problem.
I like to hear my own voice anyway.
So Fiesel, you said it's raining there, but I just got a weather warning this weekend, and it said that the Rochester area and especially places to the south and or west of it, which is exactly where I am, should be expecting 10 plus inches of slush rain.
Slush rain.
I have no idea what that means.
It means you're gonna have to get out there with your blue food coloring and make delicious treats.
Like smooth, yeah, snow cones.
I think it just means we're going to just be obliterated. There's going to be nothing.
There's gonna be an avalanche of slush, of dirty, shitty snow.
Okay, are you
And when
guys
you're
ready?
done-
We have 30 seconds to air. Are we ready to start at that time?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Let's go with yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm
You-
gonna mute
Yeah.
you guys at 10 seconds till and start the video up
You-
as you.
You're not even gonna be able to make snowballs out of that snow, PJ.
No, not at all.
That's the snow we normally get in England, where it will
The
snow.
stuff that, you step on it and it just leaks around your shoe and
Yeah.
gets in your socks.
That's English snow generally,
10
where it
seconds.
will
Skype's muted. Feasel.
Well, that is so much better than what we normally do.
I agree.
Which is this, where we sort of completely forget we started the show. Hello everybody, as the Duckfist voice mentioned, this is the Sunday Sequence break with those people he mentioned that names I don't know.
Can't remember those guys.
Fuck them. My name is Flicky, obviously. Welcome to the show, episode 10. Super Punch-Out? No, sorry, regular Punch-Out.
Whoa,
Mike,
no.
Oh my god.
Can we restart?
Start again.
Start again.
We've got to redo the 11-minute countdown now. Flicky,
Mike-
you ruined it.
Mike
problem.
Tyson's Punch-Out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Obviously, with me, as per usual, PJ.
Yes?
There he is. Feasel.
Yes?
And Flecky. Yes. Did it. And our special guest this week, we have Sinister One again. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, and
I believe this makes me the first guest to have been on the show twice.
yeah,
I don't know. Did you actually speak in the Teenage Mutant 4 episode?
I don't think he was even there.
When Mike wasn't, I tried to fit in a few words here and there.
We'll have to review the tape and see if you actually were there.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it when we do the Funk Doc and Mike episode. See if anyone can speak throughout. But no, and then we have a deli cut, which I'm told is how you pronounce that. Also,
Close enough.
okay. Do you want to correct me? I aspire to be the greatest human on the earth.
A delicate.
A deli cut, right? That works. It's not a delicious feline sandwich bringing feline anymore, but I'm sure I can work for that.
I know you're just one of those.
Oh, man, that'd be great. Bring me a sandwich.
Yes.
Bring me some bologna in my sandwich. Anyway, that's not the point. Recap. No, wait. Recap.
Yeah, I think recap.
I think that's the next thing.
Sorry.
We already lost this episode, so it doesn't matter. Already ruined it by messing up the
stopped
title
telling me.
twice.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Last week we did what Zelda Spirit Tracks was our title, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, PJ, come on. What have you been up to? I've been getting
Um,
emails from you and Duckfist and Feasel saying that you're streaming, and I'm like, I'm at work. This makes me sad.
Yeah, I had a pretty exciting week, actually.
It was-
So last week I finished CBHD finally, and this week I decided that I would try it all week and improve my times, and then whatever I had at the end of the week I'd submit. So I spent like 10 hours between Monday and Tuesday trying stuff and just got really mad. Eventually I improved one of my stages by 2.8 seconds, which is like infinity in this game. So that's really good. I'm finally done. I'm happy with all my chapter times. So that was cool.
There was
Tampa
another
has
interesting... Oh.
Tampa has been working feverishly on the Lawnmower Man task.
Oh, is he actually doing that? Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at swinging the whip, so progress has been pretty good.
There was something
work-
else important that happened this week for you.
There was actually 2 more things.
Go on.
Mr. K and I have been continuing practice on our super secret project,
That is-
and there was a trick in there that we didn't think would be possible, and it turns out it's really easy to coordinate. So that's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to more progress there. And most importantly, this weekend was Hot Dog Day
Yes.
in Alfred, New York, which is more or less the greatest celebration in the history of mankind.
I was so jealous that when I was told it was Hot Dog Day, I had to go and make some of my own.
And Hot Dog Day overlapped with 420. So while that
Wow.
didn't affect me anyway, it affected the rest of the town in ways that your imagination cannot comprehend.
That
So-
must be the least productive weekend of that
Oh,
town's history.
The population like triples every time that Hot Dog Day rolls around.
God, so many hot dogs must have been eaten. If it
Yeah.
was Hot Dog Day and 420, they must have just been like...
Yeah, I
I can't even fathom it.
told you, your imagination is not needed here.
That's not enough.
I forgot how much the whole thing is for like charity. I think all the money that they raise from selling hot dogs gets donated somewhere, and it's like 50 cents for a hot dog. And last year we raised like $90,000. So, yeah,
One year, I'll come out to Hot Dog Day.
I don't think so.
No, I won't. But
Yeah.
I want to make you feel like you're special.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well-
oh,
No, that's it. I'm
yeah,
done.
alright.
That's all.
Fiesel, what have you been doing?
Oh my gosh, this week actually hasn't been the most productive week, I suppose. But
You
Gaming
didn't
wise,
break
I'm most-
any records, right?
no, actually I didn't. Some personal bests, but that's to be expected. I mean, mostly I've been still focusing on Zelda 2. I actually, even though I swore that I wasn't going to do anything but practice the marathon route for the next month, that I wasn't going to try the fast, risky route, I nonetheless started to do attempts on that anyway. I don't know why, but it's actually kind of neat. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess, I had a complete choke in Palace 7, but other than that, I was on pace to beat the current SDA time, which of course is now obsoleted. But I thought it'd be it's another good milestone to beat that. So that's kind of fun, although it's not really helping me prepare for the marathon, to be honest.
That's fine. I wouldn't expect any less from you.
Right, yeah, obviously I'm not going to do something smart like manage my time well,
Well, of course not. Have you done it? I have had a load of emails from you about from Twitch anyway. You streamed earlier today, right? This morning, was it? Or
yeah, I guess I don't think of it as earlier today. I think of that
Right.
as yesterday, but okay.
Yeah.
wow, I wasn't awake, so I can't remember. I just looked at the email today.
You actually get the emails from Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh.
I only follow like 5-6 people, so
Okay.
I follow
I'm gonna.
DJ, Darkfist, Fiesel,
And himself.
And of course, all of the guests who have been on our show.
no,
Just the ones he likes.
I follow like 6 people, like barely anybody, so they're the only people who I would like find that email and be like, hey, I want to watch them, or Anyway,
I'm gonna have to start doing like 8-second broadcasts and change the title of my stream to "World Record Attempts of Your Favorite Game,"
That was
just
really
so that
fast.
everybody gets the email.
well, my
That's-
favorite game's Amplitude, and I don't know how you'd speedrun that.
Well, you should show up then.
um,
So
and
we're in
then-
the filler section already, apparently.
Yeah.
well, see. As for me, I did a little bit of speedrunning where I went over Ape 3 and optimized a whole load of it, and then I tried to do a run, and I had to pause to do something, and then I accidentally hit a split. So I was like, oh man, I've seen Duckfist, like, on the show, go back on a split, when he's messing around on it. So I'm like, what's the hotkey for that? So knowing that S was stop timer, I pressed every key on the keyboard except for S. Turns out R does the same thing as S, so I lost a run that was about 3 minutes faster than my old one, about an hour in. So I lost my timer. So
I gotta tell you, hitting every key on the keyboard while you care about what's happening on your W split wasn't a good idea.
because
that's
S
probably
does it,
the worst
why would there
thing.
be 2 keys that do the same thing?
There could be a key that quits or like loads
Yeah.
something else or closes instead of.
Yeah, there
Or
is a key
adds a
that
minute
quit.
to your
It's
time.
Alt F4. Why would you add another key that does that?
Why do people do the things they do? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, turns out it was one of the arrow keys, which
Yeah,
I didn't
left
even
and
know
right.
existed. I'm pretty sure I've never used those in my life. But yeah, R does the same thing as S, so don't press it. Yeah, that was my week. That was my speedrunning week. I got so angry at that I didn't want to do anything ever. So, hence the empty weekend.
It's probably valid.
Yeah. Do we normally ask? We ask the guests.
Of course we ask the guests,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sinister, what have you
course.
done since 2 weeks ago?
Well, I beat the current SDA run for Turtles in Time.
Oh my goodness!
Well done.
Congratulations.
Take that, Mike.
I got take that, Mike. I got a 21:52. But of course, as most of you know, obviously Mike is well ahead.
No, we don't. We don't need that.
You didn't know that? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing.
well, in that case, I currently have the record for Turtles in Time
Good job.
at this moment, and I've also been continuing to play Ninja Gaiden Sword Only, and not doing very well. So EXO
Wait,
is
hang on.
EXO has
Not
encouraged
doing
me.
very well. Didn't you improve your run?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
He might have.
EXO is encouraging me to play on emulator, so I guess I'm probably gonna have to start doing that.
You're gonna do Crystal Star practice every screen.
I'm gonna have to practice every single screen. I'm gonna have to practice for 8 hours a day, and then and only then will I complete the run.
Yes, exactly.
So
And a delicot. That's as close as I'm getting from now on. What have you been up to?
Oh man. Well, obviously I haven't been doing speedrunning like you guys.
That's fine. I haven't really. I just made something up.
I've been doing some tool-assisted speedrunning, but it's on a secret game for now.
Oh man.
Sorry, I
Mystery
can't
project.
spoil it on air like that.
Oh man,
It's
I hope
super
it's a
secret.
lawnmower, man.
He's gonna come out with a better task than Tompers
Yeah.
the day afterwards.
Secret rivalry.
So, yep, that's about it.
Super secret tasks. Why there's so many secrets in the speedrunning community now? It never used to be that way.
And normally I'm pretty open. I have all my progress always public, but this one's got to be a secret. It'll be worth it.
Alright.
Surprise.
Is it Leisure Suit Larry?
It is. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
respond. You got it. You did it the first,
Yeah.
first yes.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. Alright, let's go into news. Now, you see, the speedrun news has been put at the bottom here. So do we want to
Yeah.
do records first?
I don't know. You're the host.
We can do whatever we like. That's the nice thing about
I'm
it.
gonna flip a coin. Wait, what's gonna be what?
You're flipping. It doesn't even matter if we pick.
We should.
Alright.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we don't even know if you're going to tell us the truth.
It's
anyway.
tails.
I hate tails.
I don't know what that means. So
You're
I'm
supposed to
probably-
choose what's what before you flip it.
No, you
Yeah.
choose afterwards, and then you always get what you want.
He wasn't even flipping a coin. It was a Sonic pod.
They only had one side. Oh, that was the crazy part. There was just tails.
Just
There
tails or
wasn't
blank.
another side. Tails or nothing. Just a hole in existence. Let's just go down the list. Why not?
Okay.
So, right, we got, first of all, Donkey Kong Country, any percent, by our own, that's right, our own, TJP.
He's ours. He's been on the
Oh.
show, so now he's
On the show.
ours.
Yeah. Which, as I can see here, was a 36-36, or a 31-44 in game time, which was a response to a guy who, I hear myself. Hello. That was you, PJ. I know.
But no, it
No.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was. No
My
lie.
impressions of you aren't that good.
That was the response. Silent Wolf came up and beat his time a little while ago, and TJP was like, "God damn it, I'm meant to be the best at this game." Something like something along those lines, and so he went and beat out the run. Now, as I recall, there was no sort of warps or shenanigans like that in this game, right?
Shenaniganless.
A shenaniganless run. So,
It didn't take him long to beat that too, because wasn't it only like 2 days before that it was even brought to his attention that the other guy had done a run?
wait, hang on.
Oh, hold on. This just in.
This is a lie. TJP
Uh-oh.
didn't beat the record at all. He's a phony and a fraud. Congratulations to Silent Wolf for being better than TJP. That's
Well, I think the last one, I don't even know if we timed it. He watched it and said, yeah, he's pretty good at this game. And then, I'm assuming this was the run that he made afterwards. So I guess he finally did time it.
I guess so. So he
But,
just made up a time beforehand.
Well, sure.
Is that how it works?
Isn't it?
I reckon my Mario Brothers run was about 4:31, just give or take like a few seconds. It felt that fast anyway. Next up, hey Sinister, you can read this one out.
Sure.
Unless you're red-green colorblind, then you can't.
No, I got it. It's TMNT4 Turtles in Time by none other than our own Mike Uyama. And he did get that magical sub-21 time with Wrath. But it's not perfect, so he wants to continue improving it even further.
It's not perfect.
And-
Are you trash talking someone who's a minute faster than you still?
Well, see,
those are strats.
that's my job here, PJ, is to basically, I just have to get close enough where Mike is like, okay, I have to improve this more because Sinister is getting too close. I have to dominate him by at least a minute.
Yeah.
Basically, Sinister just doesn't want a route plan. So he's just encouraging Mike to set out this better route. And he's just going to copy it and win, right?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but
Another secret.
Strat.
yeah.
More secrets, damn it. Not fair.
I'm waiting until the secret game of the week episode.
We're never going to mention it because it's that good a secret. We're going to have just like blocks over the sprites. You can only see the background and it's all blue. And
So
it's
he's trying for a sub 2050?
Yeah, I mean, and he can get it too. I've watched this run, and it is an excellent run. It would easily be submittable, but seeing the way that he's been playing, he's been improving pretty steadily. Like he's. All right, I totally missed that.
a video. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay.
I'm so glad none of us have actually seen these clips before we do this.
Darkness, could you go back and play that again,
Yeah,
please?
can we see that again? I totally missed that.
I missed
Apparently, it's something.
It's so good that we're going to talk over our guests during it. Oh dear. Move over goofy picture. Here comes Splinter. So yeah, it's got a few mistakes, so he's going to try and improve it, right?
Yeah, more or less.
And again, a run we're going to take credit for, because he was on the show talking about it not too long ago.
Because in the contract that you guys signed before you agreed to be on the show, you signed away rights to your future runs to us.
All of them. And your life as well.
Mhm.
Alright, so what's this one? We got a run here. PJ... Oh, I get it. Clever.
Yeah.
PJ, do you want to... Let's go over this. Go on, this is yours
Yeah,
up.
alright, I guess I can go over it. So this is Castlevania HD, Harmony of Despair, not Harmony of Dissonance. So this is the IL table that I was mentioning earlier. In the past few weeks, every time I finish an IL. There are 11 levels, but 5 of them are DLC, so I'm just submitting for the base 6 right now. And the total time for all of those is 7 minutes 46 seconds, .97. And
Love how
this game,
hilarious this run looks, just so by the way.
yeah, it's great. For anyone who knows this game, like the first thing they say is, "Oh yeah, with Soma, right? That's the game." Because Soma can just go anywhere he wants on the map and hits like a bajillion times a second for infinity damage. So he's definitely the best. But I use Simon, who's
He's the
you would've-
worst, right?
You would have thought he's one of the worst until I started using him. And I started beating Aftermath times that use Soma. And we're like, wait a minute. Now how's this happening? So when you use Simon, you have to try and manipulate the enemies to follow you. And you can dive kick off of them in the air and get places that you're normally not supposed to be able to get to. So Soma doesn't need enemies for that, but Simon does. So it's really tricky to try and do that. And all he has are the weapons from the basic NES Castlevania series. So dagger, axe, boomerang, holy water, and Bible, which wasn't in the NES games, but
Bible.
he's got.
Just throw the book at them.
Yeah, you throw it. That's it. Guys on the ground, and maybe they'll read it, and you can attack them during it. So, but he has absolutely monstrous power. Like with backdash canceling, you can throw so many knives really quick, and it's just as fast as killing bosses with Soma.
This is ridiculous. I don't know, watching this just looks really weird. Looks like a fan-made game just because that sprite.
Yeah,
Bright
because
pink.
Pink and Simon.
It's bright
Oh,
pink
yeah.
and it's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny and it moves so fast compared to the Castlevania game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that speed boost that you're seeing is if you do a dive kick and you hit the last pixel of a corner, you keep dive kick speed. So most of these clips show corner boosts where you just go way faster than you're supposed to. And the
That's
fastest
incredible.
way to do it, like right now I have 1 HP, and that's because with Simon, the fastest way to kill stuff is to equip this item called the Fool's Tablet, which just poisons you. it poisons you and it boosts your intelligence a huge amount, so your sub-weapons do a lot of damage. But obviously, if you get hit by anything at all, you die immediately. So it's pretty tricky to do runs with him. RNG is an enormous factor. So I'm really glad to be done with this. It's by far the worst speedrunning process I've ever gone through. It's so brutal. Worse than Lawnmower Man.
Alright, that was a joy to watch, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next we got a Banjo-Tooie segmented run. 100% has been finished. No, this isn't you, is it? This isn't
No, it's
PJ.
not me.
Okay.
Even though
I thought it was PJ as well, because
PJ.
half the stuff in the document is just us
Yeah.
reading each other's names.
Yeah.
I know, it's either PJ the second or PG.
Yeah, it's PJ's son, I think, actually.
It's
PG.
yeah,
That's what happens when you get two PJs. They become PG.
indeed.
That's a little Latin root language joke for you guys there.
Banjo-Tooie is a game, like, every time I go to the forums and I read the Banjo-Tooie thread, there's a bunch of people who are, like, helping with route planning, and someone will step up and be like, I will do the run, and then disappear. So there's, like, never any updates in there. And, so someone, like, bumped the thread, and they're like, hey, is anyone working on this? And this guy posts, and he's like, actually, yeah, I just finished a segmented run right now.
So,
And, the time, I forget what the SDA time, it's like 450 something, I guess. So it's like 40 minutes faster.
it's pretty ridiculous. That's so it is I don't think I said it's 100%. Segmented 100%.
Yeah.
4 hours
Segmented.
16. That's probably a lot of crap in that game to pick up too, right?
Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount of backtracking in Banjo-Tooie. Like Banjo-Kazooie, I think you only have to revisit a few stages. Like 2 stages or something. Banjo-Tooie, you have to revisit like every stage.
Real
A few
3D
times.
rare game then.
Yeah. And
Uh,
unlike the other 3D rare games, there aren't like ridiculous OOB tricks. So you can't just use Donkey Kong and swim underneath the island and punch K. Rool. You've got to actually play the game.
Alright, Adelicot, are you in this? Have you got this Google Doc up?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh, do you want to read the next one then?
Hold on, I was bluffing.
Oh,
Zelda Ocarina of Time.
yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's a good one. And one that I must admit I'm a little frustrated. Once again, the speedrunners have beat the testers and coming up with new tricks. Again, the speedrunners beat a tool-assisted speedrun world record.
Oh man.
So,
But it won't take long for the task community to answer again, huh?
no, I know someone's working on it right now, so
I would assume so, yeah.
Come on.
we're all eagerly.
I sense this secret project.
Well, I don't know if it's a secret or not, so I just would rather say not who it is.
Safe than sorry.
I don't want to be like, hey, well, asshole, why'd you do that?
It won't be long anyway. The turnaround time on publishing these tool-assisted runs is so fast. It's
Plus, it's 20 minutes, and the first 5 minutes is just cutscenes.
right.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first OOT task that would be, reasonably fast to put out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Either way, it's Cosmo. 2209. How much faster is that than last week? ZFG's
several
run?
minutes.
I think it's like a minute and a half faster.
23 seconds or something, I thought.
Oh, is
When
it?
was
Oh.
last week? Did Cosmo have it last week? He had like a 22:30
Didn't-
something.
Oh, I've got the
Get
link
it
here.
last week and ZFG beat it during the show or just after, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So now it's
It was
22.
22:56 last week.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's 2209, which is very nice of Cosmo. And apparently they one-cycled Goma, the Deku Tree boss, if you're wondering what happened there, time-wise. And interestingly, this is the one I find crazier. So Ocarina of Time MST, SVA, or ZVA, I guess, I don't know, got a 22:24:24, which is 6 minutes 45 faster than Cosmo.
That's ridiculous.
So do we know how this happened?
That's kind of scary.
Like, that's a ridiculous, like, improvement. in that run, because that Cosmo run is pretty insane.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Just, is there like a new trick, I guess? Or did they use the wrong warps or anything? I guess they must have done, right?
Oh, yeah, Chet's saying
Wrong
use
warps and
wrong
CS
warp.
skips.
Wow.
Alright, so that's what it is. I was gonna say, there must be something.
Does that count as a separate category then?
'Cause it's,
Or
I don't.
I guess,
I don't know how the Zelda
so.
categories work, really.
does that
I
count
think
as
as long
major
as you
skips?
kill. Yeah, as long as you get all the medallions, stones, and the trials, I don't think it matters what you do.
So,
But I thought RBA
can't-
was banned in
yeah.
MST.
yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if they'd like get rid of wrong warp too, or if it's just whatever you wanted to do.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Either way, we'll have to see what happens in that one. But yeah, again, wrong warp, bringing out the records. This one, oh man, Sinister, do you want to do this one as well? Go on.
Sure, if I have to.
Go on.
About this run?
I just improved my low percent sword only by 6 seconds. Still not exactly submittable material, but it's getting close. It's getting really close to where it needs to be. So hopefully I'll be beating Hotarubi pretty soon, or his supposed time that we can't actually verify and see, but that we believe is real.
That'll be interesting. You can
Yeah.
Sinister chipping away at that one.
Did we give a shout out to EXO for Ninja Gaiden this week?
Well, yeah, he was actually gonna beat the weapons run, but he got pretty bad RNG a couple times on the final boss. Like, if he wants to beat it, he can beat it. It's just a matter of doing some attempts, and he might even get sub 12. And I told him, I was like, look,
Jeez.
you only have this much time before the show. You need to beat the record before the show. But I think he had something like that. So
And the 12-second penalty for doing it during the show was pretty fierce for Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that's like 10%.
Are we up to 12 seconds now?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's EXO, so
Alright.
pal
Yeah,
time.
the extra penalty.
How different.
Yeah,
So,
he's like scary good at the game, though. I mean, he said he's been playing quite a bit, but if you saw his because he did a stream and it was fairly ridiculous to be
Yeah.
expected from EXO, I guess.
Yeah.
I watched bits of it. It was on during something else that we'll talk about in a little bit. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, Castlevania 3. Well, I can hear me. Who is this? PJ? PJ. It is you.
Wanna?
It's you. Oh man, distracting me with my own voice. It's like
His
when,
own sexy voice.
like when I walk past a mirror. It's just impossible.
Hold on, here, I'll mute it and you let me know if it's fixed.
Alright. We got a Castlevania... Well, you need to talk about this game, though, because you're the one that knows about it.
Fine.
It's Castlevania 3.
Yeah. I really don't remember if this was the round that I was watching of his, or if it was a different one. But I was watching him do Trevor attempts, and he was like 15 seconds ahead of the run that he had last week when he was getting to... Let me think where that one ended. I think he lost one on Dracula. But it looks like he finally beat that run from last week. I think it's, what, he had a something 50, 29.50 last week?
29.50 was what was written earlier.
Yeah, so this beats it by 14 seconds, which is pretty serious. He's got some really neat tricks for using Trevor only. I enjoy this run a lot. But, again, I don't think I was there when he did this one, so I don't know if he's planning on submitting this or improving this one.
Probably improving, knowing him.
Yeah, probably.
He'll beat it by like 30 seconds in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Then he'll be like, yeah, it's done. So, yeah, again, Funk Doc finished with Grant last week, or week before, so he's moving on. He's sticking to his word. He seems to be doing every character. So
He keeps saying he's not going to do Alucard, but I think we're going to find out that he is going to improve that.
I still haven't seen Alucard in this game at all. I've
No?
seen every other character, even Cypher, but I've not seen him play Alucard once.
Yeah, Alucard's pretty neat.
Yeah, he seems to be mad that it's the fastest character. Every time I hear him talk about it, he seems a bit bitter almost. I don't know, but so yeah, and then what even is this game? Who wrote "Wow!" exclamation mark on this next one?
Not me.
Oh, this was me again.
Okay, go on then, because I have no idea what this even is.
Okay, so Lufia 2. It's an SNES RPG. I've actually never played the Lufia series, but I remember that Lufia 2 has a really interesting RNG in that you can completely manipulate everything.
Cool.
The RNG, like, it changes in an entirely predictable manner, and the same manner every single time, and it's based on, like, really simple things like how you move on the map. So if you plan it out correctly, you can pretty much figure out what every encounter is going to be, like every action that all the enemies take, what drops you get.
That is weird.
So, this is a new runner, I think. Mahiru?
I don't know.
Go with that. He came into the SDA IRC and was like, "Hey guys, I just beat the segmented Lufia 2 run, single segment on my stream. It's a pretty terrible run." And we were like, what? So he finally, like, I'm really glad that he went to, like, the SDA forums, and he's been working with Dragon Dark and trying to figure out the timing differences, because he ran it on the Japanese version. But yeah, his in-game time was 3:22, and the segmented run on the site's 3:24. But like the version differences aren't very well documented, so he and Dragon Dark are trying to figure out how they compare. He's gonna try and improve it anyways. It's pretty ridiculous the way
That's
that
bizarre. Yeah. How much knowledge do you need to run that then?
a lot. Assuming a lot. I mean, it doesn't sound like a game you can just pick up and learn straight away.
Seems weird. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Always cool to see a single segment beat a segmented run.
Yeah.
definitely.
He even, like, he needs a rare drop from one of these bosses, and he, like, figured it out going backwards from there to figure out what he had to do to get the boss to drop the rare drop every single time in a single segment. So, yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, this next one, Caracan, while the rest of us, when we finished Final Fantasy X, were like, oh my god, we're free, we never have to play this game again. Caracan finished both his single segment last week, and he finished his segmented run this week for Final Fantasy X. I think he blasted through the last, like, 15 segments in a week or something like that. Probably all that free time he got by being done with the single segment. So then, obviously, his next decision is, what should I run now? How about Final Fantasy X 2? Which, I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but yeah, he went for it. Single segment Japanese version, which I'm assuming faster. Yeah, it's 13 seconds faster than the old record, single segment. 3:22:40, so significantly...
A little bit faster.
Significantly shorter, yeah.
A little bit shorter.
So probably, I was scared to think what he can do with a run that's a third of the length of his other one.
Yeah.
It could be...
He's actually running it right now.
Of course
I've
he
got
can.
it open on another tab, and he's 1 minute and 7 seconds ahead of that.
I think we can add... for a run 3 hours, we have to add like a 2-minute penalty, surely.
It should be a something percentage penalty
Yeah, it
rather
should be
than
a
flat.
percentage, I think.
Yeah.
We'll start with 50% and work from there.
That's good. So yeah, obviously Caracan not stopping, still going. Oh no, wait, this did make it onto the list. Okay, that's fine. I told the guy would do it next week, I didn't know it was on here. Come on, Adelicott, you can do this one. Make sure you're not dead.
I'm not dead. Wait, which one am I doing?
Kirby's Dream Land.
It says it's a world record.
No, just record. There's no D there.
Oh, not even a D. Wow.
Yeah.
Record. Okay, and it's a single segment any percent run by Bangara?
Is it Bangera or Bangera?
Bangara?
It says Banjera is like a person, right? I think.
Let's go with banter.
I don't know.
We'll take a
Anyway,
vote.
the second one, it's Banjera. Well, there we go. I
My
win.
vote too.
There was
So-
a vote for Bagheera too.
Yeah, but one of them was actually the guy who says his name is Banjera, so we're going with him.
His vote counts extra.
Yeah, he gets 2 points on his vote.
Okay.
So yeah, congratulations on that one. Single segment 90%, I should hope so. It's 11 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yep.
And then this last one, who wants to do this one? Not
I'll
me.
do it.
Sinister's got it. Yep.
Go on.
No! Serenia. Another Mike Uyama run. He's been working hard lately. Subterranea hard mode, which was previously thought to be impossible to speedrun, even by
No,
Mike himself.
No, by
Um,
Mike himself. If you were at AGDQ, you would know that many people could probably have done this. Like, I watched people get to level 9 or whatever level it is in hard mode in like an hour of play. I think Mike was being dramatic.
I don't know, Flicky. I think you were talking about easy mode, and you're still wrong.
No, it
No,
definitely
you're talking about
no,
Sinus.
I'm talking about Synux.
Yeah. The Destroyer.
Like his first time through, he played hard mode and got to like level 5, and I was like, "What are you doing? How?
Yeah.
This is." But so, well, how much slower is this than his last one? It's like a good
Well,
few minutes.
Yeah, it's a good few minutes, but the thing is that he actually beat somebody did like I guess a theory taz that was like this would be a good time for hard mode kind of thing with like 600 plus re-records, and he beat that by like 2 minutes or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, he crushed it.
There's a good amount of him flying into walls and dying instantly, which I
Yeah,
like.
I like the very first clip where he just
Very good start.
he started the game and immediately flew into an enemy and
He
exploded.
didn't even reset. So
The last boss fight's great, though.
yeah, so
That's
this
when
yeah,
you got the points went up at just the right time.
Yes, it was pretty clutch because he hits. Well, you guys will see here on the video, but definitely an awesome run. I'm not sure if he wants to improve it or not, but
I sure hope he wouldn't.
how many times he's died here? That's incredible.
Yeah.
the thing with
Broke
Mike
millions
is
twice.
that he's developed Stockholm syndrome, where he's like he loves Subterranea now, even though it's been the bane of his existence. Like he's somehow become sympathetic to it, and now he must continue playing it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, it's all he's got now. It's all he's got.
yes,
So this is still going, huh? Yeah, there we go.
Yes,
That's so good. So yeah, Subterranea, hard mode. Mike's obviously needs more hours at work. I don't know. Anyway, that's all the records we got this week. We got a bunch of news though. Again, we got to keep plugging the big push.
I've been plugging the big push all week. I don't know about you guys.
I thought we'd plugged it and the big push was over.
You can never plug it enough.
I guess
Nope.
it's too big a push. We got some mad good runs uploaded apparently. I don't know what any of them are because I've forgotten. We got Metroid
Check
Prime
themselves.
PAL, Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, check yourselves. I was excited when I saw this Final Fantasy Chronicles run, but it turns out it's a different game called My Life as a Dark Lord, which sounds like a bad sitcom that you'd see on American TV.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I would. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, wow. So yeah, check out that stuff. Go on then. Go on and go check it out. I'm not going to. I guess Summer Games Done Quick is on here as well. A month from now. I guess that's why.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Start advertising.
May 24th to May 28th over in Utah. Is it in Salt Lake City or just
Yes, it is.
nearby? There you go.
Salt Lake City.
Aaron Fiesel and Duckfist will be there, and Deli Cott, are you going?
I'm in.
He's going too. There we go. Now this is a question: is Nesbot Gradius going to be there?
I have no idea, but I hope so.
Well,
Especially
Yeah,
that
that was my
particular
suggestion.
game.
That'd be great to see.
I hope that
It
is.
should be. It should be a fairly reliable game. One of the most and that would be awesome because I spelled my name in that game, and now it'll be
all
forever
over the place.
immortalized
That run.
on
Yeah.
SDA.
Yeah,
So-
that Gradius task is so
People
good.
were suggesting TASes for that Nesbot, and someone said Gradius TAS. I was like, you know what? I've never
was
watched
me.
it. Yeah, and I watched it and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This TAS is incredible. This
There's
needs
no
to be
better
there.
run.
Thank you.
Just one day hope you can get a PSX bot and you can do the ISS soccer TAS. Can be played by.
Yes.
But, yeah, so that'll be cool. It is next month. We will be doing it. We're going to do. Are we going to do it the week before? We're going to do a show about it, basically. Probably the Sunday before it's on would make sense.
Well, the details have yet to be worked out, but we will
Yeah.
have a show that relates to this event. of course.
Hopefully, we'll get Essentia on, and someone else is going or doing something with it. I don't know.
Speaking of someone else who's going,
No one else is coming.
You're not going, are you?
no, that was my segue into Duckfist and or Feasel talking about it some more. But
Oh, well, they can if they want. Darkfist's going. Piesel's going. What? Piesel, what are you doing again? Legacy of the Wizard, Zelda 2, Mario World.
Rygar and Super Mario World. Yep.
There you go. You get 4 games, of course. Mike Uyama didn't even check to see what they were. He just said 4 games and gave them how long they were.
I actually only suggested 2 games. The other 2 were suggested by other people, and I'm just racing them in it. So
And then Duckfist, I guess you're doing 9, MM9, MM10.
I'm just doing Mega Man 10. It was kind of a last-minute decision about whether or not I could go, but yeah, definitely doing Mega Man 10 with donation incentives to do the special stages, but that's about it.
Are you doing
Cardo
character?
Man Pacifist Easy Mode.
Yeah, are you doing character?
No.
Like,
So
So
I
there's
don't think so. Just Mega Man. I was actually thinking about practicing like Proto Man because I've been playing a lot of Mega Man 9, sliding and jumping and stuff. But
Mega Man 4.
yeah, Mega Man.
yeah, what about Mega Man 4 as well? Will can
well-
that be snuck on anywhere?
Well, Uranium Maker is doing a sort of variation on Mega Man 4 for SGDQ, and the strat that I have to go through it is pretty much the same as AgroWaf, who has the current world record, and it's extremely hard. And I've been playing it a lot, but I do not have it down yet. Like, I still can't clear the game without dying. So
We'll have to
maybe
wait till
for
some
awesome
games.
games done quick. Yeah, I definitely want to play it
Hope
eventually.
so. We haven't had 4 a marathon, have we?
no.
Nope.
I'm
Oh,
sure we could get the runners to have every Mega Man game showed once, right?
At some point it'll happen,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Also, a little bit more news here. The N64-a-thon went on yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not an N64 guy, and I was quite entertained by
It was good fun. So, if you don't know, it was basically Nez Kamikani's donation stream to get to Summer Games Done Quick. And because he didn't want to spend, 27 hours a day doing it, he had 4 runs going on at the same time by different people, all N64 games. It was cool to watch. It was over on Peach's stream. They had some technical stuff go wrong. And I watched for a while. I paid some money for them to play Lego Racers, and Nez Kamikaze did terribly. Which, I don't know if I feel good about that or not. But I watched a good few hours of it. When I was watching Toadpool 13 was doing Diddy Kong Racing 100%, which was pretty cool to watch. That was actually pretty fun. I saw some Banjo-Tooie. I saw a bunch of random games from Annie. I watched him do Harvest Moon,
Yes.
which is great. I got to see the best scene in the speedrun history where they come out at the end, and it's like the mayor and the guy is looking over his farm, and it's just rocks and weeds and bits of wood everywhere. And I just can imagine the conversation that they would have at that point. So this is your farm, huh? Yeah. What have you been doing for the last 3 years? Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. I think he raised $800. Some mystery guy donated $237 out of nowhere, and I don't know how many games they played, but they played a whole load, so it was pretty cool. It's always cool to see donation streams that are quite fun and interesting to watch. When I was watching, Peaches had Tetrisphere music pounding in the background, which was pretty interesting. Also, this is cool, a bit of news. This is something I'm sure a lot of us have always thought that would be cool if it happened is some developers on SDA, I think Anteater Games have made a game, and they're asking speedrunners to basically test it for them to see if they can break it, essentially. I don't know if you guys saw the thread. PJ, you saw it.
Yep, I signed
You
up.
volunteered too.
Yeah, I sure did.
I mean, this is something I'm sure I'm not alone here where I've thought, why don't they get people to do that? Because they must see how speedrunners break games like this. Why does no developers do it? So they've actually gone ahead and done it, and a bunch of people have signed up to try and destroy their game. Part of me hopes that they destroy it so badly that the developers think, oh god, why did we send this PJ guy this invite?
Well, see, if PJ does it though, he'll keep it all secret.
Keep it all secret until the end.
He won't want them to know, and then once they release the game, then he'll show his true power.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they'll like.
You're like,
fix
what's your best
one-
time here? Oh, 8 seconds.
I think Andrew G is signed up as well, and a bunch of other people. So I'm hoping they'll patch out some things that are actually 2-frame tricks and stuff like that. This this guy can do it 50% of the time, so it must be like a proper trick. So no,
Yep.
it's actually a 1-frame trick. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Go check out the thread on SDA. I think it's in gaming discussion, I believe. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. You can sign up as well to help them out if you want. Then this one is interesting. I don't know how many people care about this, but this is something I found out about. There's a charity race was going on, charity event things going on the other day, and there was a World of Warcraft raid speedrun race, which is something kind of different. I know a lot of people always joked about speedrunning WoW, but these guys basically did, I believe as I recall, it's the last raid encounter on the hardest difficulty with without this crazy buff. So basically the hardest thing you can do in the game, and they did a speedrun race between 2 top guilds. That the intriguing part is it raised $25,000. It went on for 2 hours, and it had 32,000 viewers at one point.
2 hours?
Yeah, it was about 2 hours long, the whole stream. So that's pretty cool that 32,000 people tuned in to watch a speedrun, essentially.
Yeah, that's something.
It was a pretty cool race. I haven't played WoW for a long time, but I skipped through it, and it seemed pretty cool. So what was also interesting is that's 25 people on both sides, so it's basically a 50-man race.
That's the biggest co-op run as well as the most watched speedrun.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool to see. I mean, it's not slightly different from the normal sort of speedrun you'd expect, but that's pretty cool to find out. So I saw a bunch of guys in the chat when name dropping SDA and other speedruns. So yeah, it could be cool. You spelled Flicky wrong in the thing. I've just noticed that.
No, it's fine.
That's Flixy. Anyway, and this has been snuck on as well because Sigafor was on the show the other day. He's doing SM RPG marathons now to try and get the runs. I think he's doing 4 days marathons, 12 hours a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Correct.
He said he's only going to break to sleep and eat.
Yep. So that'll be pretty cool. Go check that out. He was on the show just the other day, so go give him some support. He's playing on the Japanese version now, so expect him to destroy Japanese times, which is something we here at the Sonic Sequence Break completely
We approve.
approve of. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, we approve of this.
Although we still approve of Japanese players setting great times.
Of course, yeah. But only if we can beat them afterwards. Then we got a whole load of submissions. I'm just going to blast through these, and anyone wants to talk a bit more about them, go ahead. Mario Kart Double Dash for GameCube? Really? That's interesting. Do we know who did that?
I
No
don't.
idea.
Mafia 2 for PC, Nier for 360, we talked a bit about Nier last week. Bleach Soul Resurrection for PS3. Wait, what? Bleach? Is that when you drink bleach and it... No,
Yep.
never mind. Super Bomberman 3 for SNES, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Really? Is that any percent? Or 100%? Do we know?
Not sure. It doesn't say in the verification thread, so...
That could be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. That could be cool. Intrigued by that one now. Oh, thank you, Duckfist. Thank you. We got Castlevania Bloodlines for Genesis. I can never remember which one that is.
That's the one for Genesis.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other Castlevania game for Genesis.
I still don't really... Wait, hang on, I didn't type that. There's another me in the chat.
Ooh, whoa. We got hacked. We're getting hacked.
Alright,
Really
and then
don't know.
Kirby's Dream Land for Game Boy, which... Is that the same one as the Run?
I believe so, yeah.
It possibly could be. It would be an amazing surprise if it wasn't.
Yeah. Bizarre coincidence.
Yeah,
And then we got TAS's, more TAS's, N64, Mario 64 USA Zero Star by a whole load of people. Written here is Snark Kaiman, Sonic Packer, interesting, Mickey/VIS and TOT, or TOT, in 50225. That thing keeps getting lower. I'm going to assume there was 1,000 other people contributed to that as well, like they all seem to be.
There's an army of them.
Yeah. There seems to be more TASs for that game than there are runners for any other game combined.
Well, for the 70-star, even Jesus is one of the authors. So
That's true. There is that 70-star list where it's got the list of all the names of people on that work in progress, and it goes on forever.
Yeah.
You can't even tell where one name ends and one begins.
Who determines the order of the names in the title? Is it just like a huge battle royale? And
I have no idea.
first?
How does this work? You're a
wrestle
TASer,
for
you know TAS.
they wrestle for it. That's standard.
Alright.
Okay.
And then we got Wii Muramasa the Demon Blade USA by Momohime. Wait, oh no, as Momohime, that's the character. In 104.59.75 by ROG. TAS a Wii game? I didn't know you could TAS Wii games. That's pretty cool.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, how does that work?
Fairly recently. It's been about a year since it's been possible, and only about 6 months since it's been feasible with the Dolphin emulator. There's been a lot of bugs that's been worked out in the past year, but it is definitely possible.
That's pretty cool. Always cool to see a whole new generation of games get destroyed. So we'll be seeing the...
And it's a rare moment where we have a current generation console that you can have passes on as opposed to old school games.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the hardware is that, the PC is that much ahead of the Wii that you can do that.
Well, they have the advantage, though, because the Wii's basically underneath the hood just a GameCube.
Yeah, that's true. So the Wii is actually, almost 10 years older.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
So are we going to have a Super Mario Galaxy with 3,000 authors run?
Yeah, what should we expect to see? And now this opens the floodgates.
Yeah.
I wonder what runs are going to be the first to show up. I want to see New Super Mario Brothers.
Unfortunately, the emulator definitely, limits that. Like I tried New Super Mario Wii, and the save states weren't working properly last I checked. But then again, I've heard there's a major fix for that, so I need to look into it.
That's interesting. That could be pretty cool, though, to see a whole bunch of new TASs on the way.
Also, hardware's a problem. Emulating a Wii, that takes some processing power. So
Yeah.
like you need a premium computer to get a decent frame rate.
Yeah, a lot of speedrunners don't really have those, so... which is why we play old games. And then we got Sonic Spinball, which somehow wormed its way back into the show.
Yeah.
By Flip in 7 minutes 16.8.
That's Mike 89's fault because he brought it up, and it's actually just it's a submission. It's under review, but apparently it's 40 seconds faster than the current run, so I'm guessing it's probably going to pass.
It's well on its way to passing.
Wow.
So, and it's a huge improvement.
Alright, so again, Sonic Spinball. Are we done with this now? Can we move on from Sonic Spinball, please?
Is that from our Flip? Or is that a different Flip?
That's a different
actually
Flip.
not. That's one of the reasons I wanted to include it, but I found out later that it is not our Flip.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, if he's been wasting his time on a Sonic Spinball TAS,
Yep.
instead of doing submissions,
We're gonna have some more.
He's in big trouble.
How can you waste your time on a task? I don't get it.
Well,
Oh,
it's
it's easy.
because
You choose Sonic Spinball.
well, he has other duties. He has other duties on our site. He's an admin, and there's a lot of stuff that he does in terms of our verification process and.
To find that he's been cheating on us with TASers with for Sonic Spinball.
I have to go over there and give him a big push.
But then we're going to plug the big push to cause him pain. And then aside from that, I don't know if there's been any big races. So again, a whole bumper crop of speedrun news this week. Like an insane amount of records, news, actual stuff that happened, submissions. So yeah, well done everybody. Very lucrative week this week. Worked hard. Maybe next week do a little bit less so we don't have to go over our split by 24 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip filler and go straight into the game of the week because we're almost at the hour mark. So yeah, let's go for it.
We have one piece of filler, but we'll save that for the end.
Yeah, I'll save
Don't
that.
let us forget.
Yeah, because again, I need
Very important.
to leave at 2. We're going to try and keep it prompt again this week. So all right, let's go. Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Can I call it Punch Out from now on?
No, you may not, because
No.
because there's different versions of the game, and the chat will lynch you if you call it Punch Out, because that one features Mr. Dream, who is an abomination. He is not the real Mike Tyson. He is a white man that looks like Vanilla Ice on steroids.
In case you were wondering, the chat is Sinister's nickname.
Is
The chat will lynch you.
But it is the 25th year anniversary of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, so I'm glad that we did it during this year.
does that mean 25 years of playing this game, Sinister?
Don't.
Oh, that was a
It's
low
making me
blow. I'm old, but I'm not that old. No, I first played it, I guess, when I was probably like 9 years old, which was in the time when it came out. Yeah, so I am old. But it actually came out first in Japan, surprise, surprise, and it was offered as a prize for they had an NES golf tournament. And some of the people that played in the tournament were awarded with these gold cartridges, which we do have a picture, I believe, of the gold cartridge. It's pretty rare, pretty hard to find, and probably pretty expensive. But it did not feature Mike Tyson. It would just go up to Super Macho Man. He was the final character. And of course it was a hit with all the people that won it, so they were like, you really need to just mass produce this game and make it legit. And then that's when they got involved with Mike Tyson and added him. And there we go. Yeah, there's the picture of the original.
That's when they brought him on as creative director, right?
I believe so.
Right.
I believe so. They fired Bald Bull, who you can see on the cartridge there. He was fired, and then Mike Tyson was brought in. But the reason for Punch Out, Flicky, because you were asking, Punch Out versus Mike Tyson's Punch Out, is it's rumored that, it's because he had that thing where he went to jail and blah, 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 blah. That's not really why they came out with just regular Punch Out and got rid of Mike Tyson. His contract had expired, and then at the time that his contract expired, or around that time, he had actually lost the title. He lost to Buster Douglas, and the fight was in Japan, so they got to see it firsthand. They got to see him get TKO'd, and that they were not pleased over there. So
TKO from Tokyo.
It's
Yes,
not really
no,
fair, because he could practice fighting Mike Tyson anytime he wanted if he just hooked up the Famicom.
That's actually how Buster Douglas won. He
Yeah.
He had 2 power gloves. He practiced like that.
He beat him on the game, and then did it.
He knew what to do. He knew all the frame perfect tricks.
yeah, he was frame perfect that night because he was a huge underdog. I think he was like a 40-1 underdog or
It was
something.
a ridiculous underdog.
Wow.
That should have never happened.
Yeah, but I think another part of it was Mike Tyson. He never really had like parents or anything, so to speak of, and I guess his trainer was kind of like his mentor / father figure, et cetera, et cetera. And the guy had just died recently, so I think that kind of affected him psychologically, and ever since then it's just been a downward spiral for him until he was resurrected by the Hangover series.
Mm.
Now he's
The,
back. He's back in
Found his true
popular
calling.
culture.
Hollywood did their random dice, where they roll a dice, a few dice, and whatever number comes up corresponds to a celebrity that they're going to bring back. They did it with Neil Patrick Harris, Mike Tyson, and I'm not sure what the next one will be. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see. I'm
Right.
hoping it's Steven Seagal, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, he had a reality show for a little while there, Flicky. I don't know if
Did he?
if you caught that. Yeah, because he was I guess on the police force. I think it was called Lawman or some such. And he went around doing his specialized brand of martial arts and taking down everybody. And they'd always be like, "Oh, I know who you are," and then he'd kick the crap out of him. It was awesome.
Oh, that sounds great.
Well, I know what I'm torrenting after the show's over. So yeah, I was always told that it was Mike Tyson going to jail or whatever that changed it, but
Seems to make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense, but it's a
It was
myth.
just simpler than that. He wasn't the champion, so.
well, the only other Mike Tyson-based thing I know about video games is the whole M. Bison thing.
Right. That they changed the name of M. Bison because they were fearful of lawsuits and whatnot. Because of course, M. Bison / Balrog, that character is supposed to be Mike Tyson in a way.
Pretty much looks exactly like him.
Yeah, it's for those who don't know, Balrog is. Well, this is going to be confusing. Balrog is the one with the claw. Vega. Vega is meant to be what we call Bison, the dictator, and Balrog, who the boxer, is meant to be Bison, M. Bison.
Right.
Which is why, if you've ever wondered if you've seen results, it will say Claw Dictator or Boxer instead of their actual names for Japanese readers or whatever. So, yeah. All right. Let's move on. Bit of history there.
Yeah.
We're dropping facts
Yeah.
this week.
Yes, we do have a lot of history. So I think I'd like Adelicott to talk about this next part here and kind of where the whole idea of getting fast times in this game started. Maybe if you could talk a little bit about like red toms and game FAQs and all that.
Well, getting fast times goes back to even like 1988. By the time I was beating the game easily, I was noticing tricks and I actually started writing down my times. And it wasn't until the explosion of the internet and Game Facts had came out, and there was the Mike Tyson's board there. And that's where people started getting together. Other crazy people who were like, "Hey, I have record times." They started getting together and comparing times and started competing. It started on Game Facts, and then Red Tom made his own site, which I think still is out somewhere. It's being hosted somewhere. It hasn't been updated in like 6-7 years, but it just had all the information. It was, at the time, the official world records for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Before it was SDA or even Twin Galaxies, it was Red Tom. So, and actually that's how I got affiliated with Task Videos, is I was looking for ways to, I was coming up with strategies, and that was, back then it was the days of Nesticle, which you could actually record movies on, but you couldn't use save movie. So I was looking for, like, how could I use save states and record?
PJ. Echoing again.
Fine, I'll just mute.
Nesticle is incredible. It's
nostalgic now. But that's where I came on to Task Videos, and it was, for me, just like, wow, this is what I've been looking for. And I just wanted to show off, like, demos of various strategies I was coming up with, because the game is extremely random, if you don't know. And so most of these strategies are like, 1 in 1,000. Some of the actual human records, have like 1 in 1,000 odds of even getting the right patterns to be able to pull it off. And then, of course, some of them, which are demonstrated in the past, is like 1 in 1,000,000. Extreme luck manipulation.
Now, would that be the Mike Tyson is the 1 in 1,000,000?
I think it's about 1 in 1,000,000 for him. To get all the extremely fast, like for him to throw every punch as fast as possible, is about 1 in 1,000,000.
And
on top of having to have frame perfect luck.
What time is that? Does that yield?
Frame perfect. 158? The task record.
That's ridiculous.
That's an insane time.
To do that in real time, you'd have to do every punch exactly frame perfect. There's like, well, Sinister would know better how many punches that is, but like 30, 40.
Well, let's see. You'd have to hit the first 10. Well, you'd have to first of all you'd have to duck sometimes, which is you'd have to do that frame perfectly.
Ridiculous timing there.
And then you'd have to hit the frame perfect. So I'd say for each of the ones, just to get the first knockdown, you'd probably have to do at least 20 frame perfect movements just for one knockdown.
And of course have extremely good luck, because every single punch has 2 possibilities for how fast he's going to throw it. So
yeah, so it would take a lot of luck there. But I think we're probably going to show a video of the Tyson fight at some point in the episode here, because we have a bunch
can do
of
it now if you like.
Yeah, we got space
do
on the
this.
screen. I'm depressed looking at our poor record in
Hard record's fine.
0-9, man. That's at least
Well, it's your fault. You already blew this one. We could have been 1-9.
well, at least we've never been knocked out, I guess. But yeah, go on.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we'll get the vids up, I guess, because I'm not sure we have some, but we didn't have others because of time constraints and other things. So I'm not sure if we actually had the
It's cool.
Tyson fight ready yet. But we'll move on. I wanted to also mention just before we moved on that there's actually a book that's going to be coming out. It's kind of like a coffee table book, and it's by a guy named Daniel Lanciana, and he has posted most of the chapters on the Game FAQs board for people to kind of review and whatnot, and it's really amazing stuff. I think we were probably going to show some stuff from the book also, because he's really done his homework. It's like 7 chapters. It's not just some little like small manual or something like that. It's pretty heavy duty.
So is it about the game in general or about speedrunning it?
Well, it's about both. There's a lot of information on the development of the game, like technical stuff, like how the game actually works. Like there's actually even a formula to how to, the codes that you put in for the game. And there's so many Game Genie codes. It's just it's pretty insane how much information there is.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. I think Duckfist has shown a little bit there on that looks like probably chapter 1, I think.
So is he going to sell it as like an actual bound book?
Well,
Or is it just going to be like download?
Well, I mean, I think it's probably easier to download, but he did make a copy. He does have like a physical copy that he just got recently. And I think it's not really profitable for him to sell it because of how much it costs him to make the book. So this is more like a labor of love kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I think
There's lots of color pictures.
Yeah, there's a ton of pictures and there's a ton of information. It's a really good book. Like it doesn't sound like it would be like a book about a video game. What the heck is that? But yeah, this game is deep, and I helped out a lot with Chapter 5 because that's the strategy chapter, and just some other general oversight for some of the other chapters as well. So
That seems pretty cool. I'm intrigued by this book now.
It's really comprehensive. Like the stuff that it covers, it's got all the different, the album art, cover art. It's got all these figurines. I mean, it's just got everything. Strategy in the game.
We need to get him to print one of these, and we'll give it away as a prize.
well,
Yeah,
that
seriously,
was actually my plan because he is going to give me a copy, but I need to get him to give me 2 copies because I have to be able to read
Yeah.
one for myself. And the other one I would graciously donate as a prize for the next marathon, which Mike Tyson's Punch-Out gets run, which I'm not sure when
Well,
it's
it will
asked.
now. It will.
Yeah.
now.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we had that prize to give away, why not, right?
Oh,
well,
man.
I don't know. I think it's been every main marathon so far, and I think the plan for the next main marathon is that it's going to have to be donated for if it's going to be played. It's not going to actually be part of the schedule. So for everybody that's in the chat right now, you guys, if you want to donate for that game, it'll get played. I know it's kind of a long ways away, but
Still, me and Sinister still have to have an epic showdown, so.
well, yes, that's true too. Because actually, I guess that kind of segues into the next thing. Maybe you can talk about how you first started doing the blind punch out, which I demonstrated at the marathon, but you
showed me up there with my own trick. If it showed me up, I don't know. It was. Yeah, I don't know what possessed me to do it, but obviously it was my favorite game. I got it when it came out. I was the only person I knew that could beat Tyson. I got to the point where nobody was a challenge anymore. And something possessed me to say, like, I could probably do this without looking. And so I turned my back to the TV and I started playing that way, and I actually got pretty far. And so I actually spent years practicing that. I need to dig it up, but I do have a VHS tape of when I was about 12. I beat Soda Popinski backwards, so I have proof from way back then. I was a cool kid, yeah.
Well, that's no small feat. Soda Popinski is definitely one of the harder guys to beat because there's not a lot of audio cues for his attacks, and his attacks are very random.
Yeah, for some reason my friends didn't find that very cool that I can. What it was. You know?
It's fine. I struggled through secondary school being able to play some songs in Guitar Hero with a blindfold on, and people didn't help me out much either.
Yeah.
But look at me now. I've got my own speedrunning show on the internet.
So yeah, I can
show
really
make
get
believe
to
early.
Tyson, but I still have not beat Tyson backwards. It's
It's too
every
much.
punch. There's two possible speeds he could throw it, and there's no audio cue on that. And of course, one hit and you're down. So I've never survived that first. Well, I may have survived the first minute and a half, but not with much energy to do much with. So, but I get to them pretty regularly. All the other ones have some sort of luck or audio cues I can play off of. So.
All right, so let's roll into records and runners because they have some
Alright.
good alliteration there.
Well, with regards to the records, there, of course, we talked about Red Tom's site earlier. That's where they used to keep. He has they call it the record shrine. But that, of course, a lot of the records were just on good faith because there was you couldn't make videos. You could make the ones on Nesticle, but it was kind of tedious, I guess, and difficult back then. So people would just kind of report like, "Hey, I got such and such time." And I guess they had some way of
It was the honor system back then. It was pre-YouTube,
It was the honor system. And then as far as SDA goes, we're still waiting for my runs to get put up. But I did a single segment run, and I also did a individual level run, which those are both combined gonna obsolete what's currently up there, which is a segmented run.
Combined. You were that much faster.
Wow.
Well, no. It's not so much that, but it's too much trouble to update the segmented run because I obsoleted parts of it with the other stuff, and it would be a mess. So yeah, we're just gonna take it down. And then Twin Galaxies, of course, they're another site that keeps records for Punch Out as well. And then, of course, all the task records belong to A Delicate, of course. So maybe you want to talk about that.
Talk about the task records?
Well, because I know there was somebody else that had started before you.
Right. I was actually in the process of trying to. Back then, it was Fantasia was the emulator for tool-assisted speedruns, and it's a horrendous emulator to use. It needs to be buried somewhere. So I was still in the process of figuring that stuff out when I guess it was Phil Cote and was it Ganisto? I don't know how to pronounce that. They put out, at least for our community, a pretty epic task because they weren't even involved with what we were doing, and they put out something that for almost every fighter they were like faster than anything anybody had reported as possible. With a lot of new tricks and ideas no one had considered, so we were all kind of blown away by it. And that's kind of what got me on. I was like, I will beat that. And so I spent about the next year studying the game. But it took me a year to make my first task for this game because I did so much research, so many different versions of things. And that's kind of what got me into making so many tasks now. In fact, back then I had no intentions of doing anything but Punch Out. after that, I was done. But, I did beat the record. I submitted it. I was still off a kind of an adrenaline high for doing that, I guess. And I was like, hey, what are some other games I could do? And I guess I got hooked.
Kind of snowballed
It
from
was
there.
a rookie mistake, that one. Yeah, I'll just do the
Yeah.
one speedrun.
Right. It's addictive. You watch out. It's a gateway drug. And,
Yeah.
you better watch out. 5 years later, you'll be running the site. So.
Yeah, really. And have the majority of the videos on it.
Right.
Yeah. So you have
this game is the reason I run past videos. Like that's what led to all this.
Huh.
Which, obviously, quick plug, we have linked in our info section. If you want to check it out, if none of you know, but some of you don't know about it, go on. Go click on the link and go watch some stuff. Go watch the Gradius TAS, and go watch the International Superstar Soccer TAS, or ISS TAS, whatever it's called.
You should watch the River City Ransom Play Around task. That's fun.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, that
That's
one
good.
is fantastic.
That was a fun one to do too. I love that one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Anyway, yeah, so basically, Sinister, you got like all the records that were verifiable, right? Is that how it works?
That is
one.
correct. Well, except for the one that A Delicate did, which was King Hippo, and very very appropriately, he matched his TAS time for that one.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I had a pretty innovative way of training for that. If you want me to talk about it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Good.
So if you guys don't know what Lua scripting is, most of the emulators we have that we do tasking on have it. And what I did actually is I dissected the game, and I actually wrote a script that would take King Hippo and put him always into his optimal pattern. And then I wrote it's kind of almost like a Guitar Hero style scroll down. Where when I would punch, it would actually have a little meter that would go down, and I had a visual cue for timing my punches. And every punch I did, it would actually show me if I hit it spot on or if I was a few frames off.
Wow.
And so I got to sit there endlessly throwing the same punch over and over and training my timing to hit it.
Wow, that's really good.
I even had a percentage score, so it would show me how often I was hitting it. So I went from 10% when I first tried it just to see where I was at. And I was only hitting it 10% of the time to about 50% a week later. So it actually trained perfect timing in my fingers, and then I went to the console. The luck is pretty rare too. It's a 2% chance. I actually dissected the RNG to know exactly. It's a 2% chance they cooperate. And in about 50 tries, I had the task record. I matched my task record.
That's pretty.
Wow.
That's
I
pretty.
finally got the right randomness. Apparently nailed the timing too.
That's a very accurate probability.
Yeah.
It's 2%, and you got it in 50 attempts. That's that's pretty good.
Yikes.
That's insane though. I'm
That's
glad
a spectacular amount.
that my games can't be tasked, because I would just give up.
Not yet, at least.
So yeah, with the right skills, you can train your reflexes apparently with the
I guess
emulators.
Well, and you need to do that too, because he didn't mention, but you only have a 2-frame margin of error for that entire fight.
Right.
If your timing is any more off, if it's 3 frames off, then you're not getting the lowest possible time.
the game runs at 60, right?
Right.
Yeah, 60 frames per second.
All right, so we got the runners. We've mentioned a bunch of them, so just blast through this list of runners then. And
Okay, not a problem. Red Tom, we already mentioned his site, but the reason that he's so important is because he made 2 major discoveries. Number 1, he's the guy that figured out how to TKO Mr. Sandman in round 1, which, if anybody played this game as a kid, you could be like, there's no way that you could do that. And then the second thing is TKO Tyson in round 1. So he figured out both of those, which basically it has to do with doing some delayed hits that are pretty precise. And he also figured out stuff on PAL as well, because he had a lot of PAL stuff. So there are actually PAL differences that we didn't get into yet, but maybe we'll talk about those. Matt Turk, he basically has every record for this game unofficially, He was very, very innovative in discovering all kinds of different techniques that, like, I still don't understand how he figured it out. Like, it's not stuff that's intuitive.
Majority of all tricks, he's the creator of them. So
Yeah. And they're not, like, it's not the kind of thing that you would just stumble upon or the kind of thing that you would think of. So I don't know if it, like, came to him in a dream or what, but yeah, so you know, that kind of gives him some credibility, that and the fact that he, like, shared his strategies as well, so that, you know, people could try to replicate them. So I'd say for the most part, people are pretty confident in his records, and he would also report, like, how many attempts it would take, and generally, you know, it was pretty on par with what the odds would be.
now that I've broken up the odds and I know the exact odds of every move, I did a lot of work of that recently. All the odds correspond almost exactly to the number of attempts he claimed. And he claimed those before anybody knew the real odds of anything.
So it's pretty.
So unofficially, no video proof he's the best Mike Tyson's Punch-Out player of all time.
Is there no video of it, or the video is just not public? Which way around is it?
Well, he's told me that he does have some video, but he's also said that he took Polaroid pictures of the blue screens that you get after you beat a boxer. That it shows the decimal point times. But it's kind of like God. Like, you can't prove that there is a God, and you can't prove that there isn't. Okay? It's
all you know is that there was
you either believe in it or you don't.
He's considered the best, though.
There was a Matt Turk. There was Matt Turk.
Yes, and then we have Daniel T, or Daniel Teixeira. Some people may know him. He does a lot, I think, on Twin Galaxies, actually. But he was big into this game. He and this other guy that's listed there, Martin Charlebois, they both figured out independently of each other the Don Flamenco, like, 15-second knockout, which is pretty insane. Because I know when I did the first run, like, people hadn't seen that before. They were like, "What the heck? How did you?" Yeah. He also discovered the Soda Popinski crouching glitch, whereby if you block when Soda Pop is going to throw an uppercut, he will kind of get confused and be like, "What? Why is he blocking?" And then you can hit him, and that led to the first sub 1 minute time on Soda Pop. And he also had.
Well, I'm definitely going to get the VHS then. I've got proof that I did that back in, like, 92.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
He had a time on Super Macho Man. I can't tell you offhand what it was. Like, today it would look like, oh, that's not anything special, but I think it was because it was from so long ago and how low it was that, like, nobody was even close to him at that point. Like, he was just way ahead of everyone.
Until Matt Turk shattered it, which is the story for everybody.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty much the story for everybody. I can say that I once matched a time by Matt Turk, which was the Mr. Sandman time, and that's another reason why when do we have that picture? Can we put that picture up again of the 219.97? Because Matt Turk had this legendary time on Mr. Sandman of 2 minutes and 20 seconds flat, which is going to be the individual level you guys see once the run goes up on the site. However, of course, as you guys may have saw earlier, I did get that 219.97, and it was not recorded. Shame.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yep, there it is, and then I'm face palming, I think.
There you go.
It was a sad day for Sinister One.
So who took that photo?
Actually, the guy that took that photo is my friend Amit, or if he's in the chat, his name is Ninjamit, and he come over for the weekend or something like that. We were hanging out, and
You were doing the classic friend comes over, you play a single-player video game.
Well, no. He was actually, it's funny, he was asleep at the time, and then I, like, woke him up because I was like, dude, you need to, he had a much better camera phone than I did, so I was like, you have to take this picture. He's like, what are you waking me up for? Go away. What is this? So yeah, but I needed to have documented proof that I did get sub 220. However, once I told Matt Turk about that, he promptly went and got a 219.48 to make sure that I could not ever have the record. So that was the end of that.
We've all got that story. Every time I beat him, it was short-lived. So.
All right. And then a few more names here. What we got? Where do we get?
Yeah, okay, real quick. Yeah, Martin Charlebois, he came up with the ball bull opening that pretty much every single fight uses. It's like the 17-second knockdown. I actually do it in the blindfolded run. That's how like easy and simplistic it is, but how good it is too, because it's like really fast. Let's see. There's a guy named Kingdom Carts on YouTube. He has a really good tutorial for like people that are just starting out for Punch Out. I would say that in general it's pretty accurate, but there is some incorrect information in it. But nothing that, like, if you're just starting out, it doesn't matter, so it's not a big deal. And then Arctic Eagle has some of the PAL records, I believe, which he's another SDA runner. So
Arctic. Oh, yeah.
our very own Arctic Eagle. Yeah, he hasn't been around much lately, but
Yeah.
I'm amazed Fiesel hasn't tried to beat this then. If
Yeah, I
Arctic
was
Eagle got something.
I'm
Just
still
gonna
working
say.
on his Zelda 2.
well, you need
Slowly
the
erasing him from history.
PAL card if you want to compete with him, because that's he has the PAL records on that. So
Yeah. Then, so the categories, I guess there's, single segment, ILs.
yeah, we covered all of them except for the clock stop. So the clock stop's probably the only one we really gotta talk about. I'm gonna go ahead and defer to my colleague here on that one. Maybe we can get some of the videos of the clock stop fights going too.
Right. The clock stop glitch is it's one of the most famous glitches. It's one of the only glitches, actually. It has to do with rapid punching in the game. If after certain fighters and certain punches, if you dodge and attack fast enough, you'll do rapid punches. The clock stop basically is if you hit them and you stun them, then you wait and you do a late punch. If you got the right timing, you'll hit them, or sometimes they'll even block. But somewhere in that, it actually confuses the clock, because in order to do rapid punches, the game basically cheats that and just stops the clock and restarts it over and over, kind of to simulate like you were punching really fast. But it gets confused and it never restarts the clock. So the key there, of course, is to get to that kind of punch as soon as possible, counter, stop the clock, and then don't do anything that might cause it to restart, which is basically stunning your opponent. I'm blanking. Getting hit. I think getting hit restarts it. And of course,
actually, I think it's only if you get knocked down, but I think you are allowed to get hit.
Right.
Because you do get hit in a few of them. The ones.
There's something else though. Matt Turk documented it all when he first kind of came up with it, and it was the rules of engagement. It was called.
Yes, that is the aptly named title that he chose for it.
This would explain why it's so important to get video for this game then, because if you can stop the clock, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of controversy. That's why it's a different category, of course. If you can stop the clock, you can get ridiculously fast times. But in a lot of ways, it's easier than it's easier to do the glitch than it is to do some of the other strategies. And it's just so totally different that it's generally a different category.
And I think we're trying to locate the. We were having a little trouble with the video that the one that had the clock stop. So you guys are all getting to see the end of my blindfolded run there. Bald Bull ended up taking me down. He's actually pretty hard, so I don't feel too terrible for losing to him. He's one of the fighters that's pretty powerful, and like he can take you down pretty easily. So.
But apparently in your practice runs, you had gotten further than that blindfolded, am I right?
The furthest I ever got was to Bald Bull 2. I never got past Bald Bull 2, I guess. And I probably didn't practice the blindfolded enough, because I did have 3 other games. So I could have spent maybe a bit more time on it. But
Ball 2 is the hardest to do blindfolded, but Ball 1 would probably be the second hardest.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. All right. Well, I guess we don't have the video for the clock stop. Sorry. Maybe we can move on though. We can move on to.
We got some stuff in tasks. We actually have I'm surprised. We mentioned some of this already, but if there's any of this task stuff you want to go over, Adeli, go for it.
Okay. Where are we at again?
We're at tasks, the task section, labeled tasks.
Yeah, we
TAS.
talked about
we talked about Nesticle Days.
Yeah, we went over a bunch of this, but if there's anything you want to clarify, go for it.
Well, with the task here, I mean, it's worth noting that, actually, I think we talked about this too, like Bulbul 2. So anybody who doesn't know and they watch the task of that, if they don't know the game, they just think it's easy because I'm just punching the crap out of them. And if they know the game, they think I'm probably cheating because you can't do that to them, and everybody knows. But the reality is that for some reason, if you just throw a punch at them, there's a 1 in 16 chance it'll actually land and hit them, and you'll get a star. It's obviously intentionally programmed, but I have no idea why they programmed that. So the task strategy obviously manipulates that, and I hit them maybe 15, 16 times, all of which have a 1 in 16 chance. So if you multiply that out, it's like a 1 in a million shot if a real can ever do it. So, I mean, that's the thing, is this game is just a ridiculous amount of manipulation. I would say more luck manipulation. The only games I've ever had more luck manipulation were RPGs. Outside of RPGs, this game is the most.
With this, I just want to know, with tasking, is it decided at the beginning of the round, or is it like every punch is random?
With this game, it's everything you do manipulates the RNG. So, like, what I'll do is start throwing the punch and then do random buttons between the time I throw the punch and the time it lands in order to manipulate the correct randomness for a punch. Or if it's the pattern, like if he's throwing or something, you can just push buttons whenever it doesn't affect anything in order to change the RNG. It ends up being pretty tedious, or at least it was in the old days. Now I have tools that'll help me do that even, so... Like a Lua script can just inject random buttons in there for you. So, also Don Flamenco 2 is another one of those 1 in a million shots. In fact, even the real-time ones, we're talking about 1 in 1,000 strategies that poor Sinisters tried.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I did.
Like, I don't really know how the passwords work in this, but they start you at like the start of a circuit or something, right?
Right. So you
can't start on an individual fighter.
You can start on Macho Man, lose intentionally, and that takes you to Don 2.
Huh.
So really, you're in a position where it works out that you never have to fight more than 2 people before you get to your fighter. But that's still very frustrating for like really, like Bulbul 2. You'll fight Piston Honda, you fight Soda Popinski, you'll throw the first punch, it won't work, and you reset. I mean, that's a really frustrating experience. So, and he claimed, Sinister, you claimed you did 1,000 attempts on Don 2?
I did do 1,000 attempts on Don Flamenco 2, and part of the thing that affects the time that you get on him is actually when you get the 1 in 16 random star. Like, you need to actually get it on a specific punch, so that makes things even more complicated. Like, I don't know what the odds are of it being on, but you gotta, like the first time you punch him in the fight is guaranteed 100% of the time will be a star. The second time you punched him.
Right, the rule's every 5th punch get you a star for sure. All the other ones are 1 in 16.
Right.
So, and then on him, it's even more complicated because his timing is random too. He's the only one with purely, like, when he could throw the punch, there's certain frames that he could throw it, and it's just random which one he will. So that's even more frustrating. So.
All right. Well, we're having some technical difficulties. We're trying to show some of those clock stop times and some of the other times, but we just keep showing Glass Joe over and over again.
It's because we hate Glass Joe.
Yeah, we're
I
punishing
think
it.
it's one of the typical things that FLVs have where they won't let you skip ahead in during them. You have to watch until you get to the point, which
Oh, of course.
happens from time to time in FLVs.
Okay, well, I think what we should do then is probably show any of the other videos because those will all be relevant, and we can probably speak about any of them.
All right,
so
so
it's not that one.
let's roll into what tricks, general techniques, and then any other stuff.
Okay, that sounds good. Except for that I just completely messed up my Google Doc, so maybe somebody else can start.
Oh, you didn't delete the whole thing.
The first one is on the Google Docs is Dizzy Destroyer.
Okay, yeah, so that's a Matt Turk special.
Like that, it was probably Matt Turk. He's also the best at coming up with cool names. I would just called it like some punch trick or something, you know. But that's actually one of my favorite, and it works on Piston 2 and Super Macho Man. First you do a gutter, which now I'm realizing that's a trick nobody knows. Basically, the game lets you play with the opponent's guard. Like, if you hold up, the opponent sees you're holding up, and he puts his guard up at his face. And then, like, if you let go, he puts it back at his gut. So the trick is you hold up to get him to raise his guard, and then quickly let go and punch him in the stomach. I don't think that's a glitch, or anything. It's obviously intended by the programmers that you try to fake out your opponents. But the Dizzy Destroyer is that apparently you can get them to raise their guard, hit their gut, and then hit a face punch right after that. So, like, while they're still recovering from that and they're lowering their guard, and you can hit them in the face. I don't think that one was ever intentional, but it was something Matt Turk, of course, came up with.
Of course he found, and we're going to see it right here, actually, because the Super Macho Man fight features some Dizzy Destroyer action.
Yeah, because once I stop.
No, this isn't the clock stop. This is my eye out. Yeah, that right there was the Dizzy Destroyer. And
it's one of my favorite to do. It's just fun when you get the timing down, and it's totally just gripping them a new one. You know, you can just and so much.
Well, there's another trick, and this is actually one that I figured out. Amazingly, a new technique. But watch the clock when he winds up for his spin punch. It's going to stop. Okay, and now it won't start again until he stops spinning. And that's actually the visual cue that I'll use so that I can throw the star uppercut immediately after he stops spinning. Yeah. And nobody knew about that until, like, they used to...
you blew me away with that one, too. We all knew that, like, you want to throw it as soon as possible because the clock still stopped, but how do you know... He can do anywhere from 3 to 20 punches, and you never know when the last one is, and we figured out that as soon as you see the clock restart, that's your cue.
You say 20?
Yeah.
I don't know. It can be a ridiculous number. Like, you just have no clue.
In round 1, he can do between 3 and 8, and in rounds 2 and 3, he can do. I think he can do close to 20. Yeah. And I only figured that out because I did some points runs, which you have to go through all 3 rounds. So
I was about to say, what's round 2 like again?
Yeah, that's the only reason I knew that that round 2 existed was because of that.
So you're aiming for in-game time, right? Not real time? Right.
And there's
So it doesn't matter how many punches he does. You're not going to get trolled by the fact that he just wastes your time doing his lots of punches.
I would love that
Yeah.
if it did.
Thankfully.
Incredible.
Now, tasks, you have to do both, of course.
Right. TAS is
You have to
minimizing
manipulate-
actual frame count.
You have to manipulate real time too. You know, it's the fastest real time with this. You know, without interfering with your clock time.
So, speaking of real-time and clock time, this is good because I meant to ask this earlier and forgot. Sinister, you said that there are only a few decimal values that I can display, right?
That's correct. You can only get 0.00, 0.25, 0.48, 0.61, 0.82, 0.97, and 0.99.
So, the in-game clock is accurate, though, right? So what does it do? Does
Well, I won't call it accurate, but basically, I mean, I studied this. You actually got it's one of the reasons you get a little bit of margin of error. Like I said, on my King Hippo cast time, I could have been 2 frames slow because it divides the 60 frames up. There's about 6 or 7 possible times, decimal times. So just like the first 3 frames of a second is 00, and maybe the next 3 is 0.25. So it just kind of divides them out like that.
Are they, like, divided equally?
No,
Apparently
not even
no.
that. Like, it's completely random and absurd. And actually, 1 clock second is different for every fighter, and even rounds of fighters. Like, round 3, the clock actually moves faster than round 1.
Wow.
It's
Now, I thought you told me
it's
at
almost
one point-
meaningless.
I thought you told me at one point that there was like a 1 frame difference between .97 and .99, and then another 1 frame between .99 and .00.
Exactly, and then that's pretty consistent regardless of fighter. So it's the other ones that have more leeway. But I know, like, Sandman, I think it's 24 frames equals 1 clock second, whereas someone like Don Flamingo is 16 frames. So there's a variation. You know, the clock, it's the worst clock in the history of clocks, basically.
Yet you still
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Which is probably the reason why it can be stopped also, because I guess the way it's programmed, it wasn't done very flawlessly. But I think we have a few other videos that we could probably show. Maybe we could do that Glass Joe video to kind of show the difference between PAL and NTSC, because there's a pretty notable difference between the versions.
Yeah. I think the time to anybody who knows the game's pretty epic, because anybody who's played this game has gotten 42 seconds on Glass Joe. In fact, I've witnessed someone play the game for the first time, some like 8-year-old, didn't know how to play the game, and somehow landed that punch perfectly and got a 42-0-0. So they have matched a tool-assisted speedrun on their very first try at 8 years old. So, like, everybody knows this game, everybody's done it, it's easy. So, of course, Matt Turk came up with a way to do 41.97. And this is what this video is showing. It can only be done on the PAL version because the clock's a little bit slower. Or I should say his punches are a little bit faster. And it involves depleting all your hearts. And then it actually has a little bit of a clock stop glitch there. And something about that causes him to, I think, back up a little bit. No, you're in rapid punch mode still.
Yes.
You set it up
Yes.
so that your punch actually will go faster and hit him slightly sooner.
Yes.
And
Yes.
deliver 41.97.
That's a real jerk move, that is.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty epic discovery because, like, at the time he did, I mean, if someone said, yeah, I'm going to go improve Glass Joe, it would have been a joke and we would have laughed at you. And he did. So he found some way to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's not something that you would think of doing. And the funny thing is, you can actually knock Glass Joe down on 41 on the NTSC version, because I've done it, but
Right.
he always gets back up on a 1 count.
Right.
So it's really annoying. But I think it has to do with that whole clock stop and then being in the rapid punch mode. Whereas, like, if you knock him down on 41 on NTSC, it has to be done with a star punch. That's the only way you can do it. And that's not good.
It's that rapid punch there. It's it's hard to do it on NTSC because you have to hit him 20 times, which is almost frame perfect, to get a star, and then you have to deliver the star. And it basically hits him before it's supposed to hit him, and even the graphics look weird. Like, suddenly he's right there at your glove getting hit, even if it's further back. Like, just instantaneously warps to your fist. So it wasn't intentional, but he gets up. So.
Wow.
And then another difference with the PAL version is on Mr. Sandman, which I believe we're queuing up the video for that one too.
The most significant difference in the game.
Yes, it is, because it actually allows you to get a faster time than the task. So basically what it is that you can exploit, like, there's a way that when you hit him, he'll attempt to hit you back, but you can actually hit him before he lands his punch. So, well,
your punches are moving faster than his, basically, in PAL. Like, in order to try to simulate 60 frames per second at a 50 frame rate is, I'm having a hard time explaining it, but basically his punches take more frames. For some reason, yours don't. So it kind of gives you a weird advantage.
And you're going to see that right about here.
Awesome. On NTSC.
Wow.
And it's an awesome thing to watch. Like, It's totally
Now,
unknown.
it is actually possible to do this on NTSC. There's a couple different ways. Number one, you can remove the lockout chip from a PAL cart and play it on an NTSC console, and it'll work. Everything will be speeded up, though. The music will be really fast. Everything's faster.
And to be clear, it says you can do this. It's not about basically cheating.
Correct.
By playing the PAL version at NTSC speeds.
Right, and then the other way to do that, of course, is you can just have the PAL cart, and you can just use a top loader NES because I guess there is no region lockout thing, so you don't even have to do anything. So then you could technically get this time on an NTSC console.
Something SDA should be aware of, and also test videos. We get those. We get them every 6 months or so. We get a Mario task that beats our record by doing it on PAL with NTSC speeds.
Is that the legendary overclocked PAL system?
Yeah. Every 6 months, so somebody tries to pull that off, you know, but they never get away with it. So
too sharp for them.
So as you can see, that time was significantly lower than the 2:18, which is the task time.
Right.
And that's really the only way that it can be beaten that we know of. Although people have claimed to have beaten it legitimately, there's not very much proof that it actually happened. In fact, there was a record that was on Twin Galaxies, and that record was challenged. Because it was on Mr. Sandman, and it was, I guess the challenge was upheld by the referee, and the record was removed afterwards. So,
and it was because they were very likely doing what you're seeing right now.
Yes, that was the theory anyway, but nobody knows for sure. Nobody knows all the details. But yeah, I'm thinking that it's probably not possible to beat the Taz.
And we also know that the person who has the record did put a video on YouTube showing this technique on PAL, which we have. So it's very suspect.
It is.
And of course, I don't know how many hours you and me spent after that trying to make sure there was no other thing that we weren't, like we kind of collaborated and we went over like Ustream over and over, just like we spent hours trying to come up with a better strategy. There isn't one.
Yeah, and Matt Turk was involved also. If Matt Turk couldn't find a better strategy, then it probably just doesn't exist. So, but yeah, that was kind of interesting. And the one thing about Sandman is there's some finite rules to Sandman. Okay, he'll never stop throwing his rolling jabs until 50 seconds into the fight. There's no way to manipulate that. And also you'll notice that, you know, in most fast fights against Sandman, you need to get knocked down in order to trigger the Dreamland Express so you can knock him out quickly. However, if you get knocked down any earlier than 159 plus 1 frame, then it won't trigger the Dreamland Express. So you can make things faster and do all kinds of crap, but it doesn't really matter because you.
So a lot of the things that you would find, like, oh, this is slightly faster, it doesn't end up mattering because of those times. You know, you still have to wait till 159 to get knocked down and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets nullified. So, I guess maybe we could move on to some of the more lesser known things like the Easter eggs that are in my Punch Out, because those are pretty famous.
Just because we didn't know until maybe a year ago, and it was one of the developers actually in some like news thing or something mentioned it, because they asked, you know, is there anything people don't know about this game? And he mentioned that, and like nobody actually knew. And we've been playing this game obsessively for 25 years, so for something to not be known blows my mind.
What was that?
You'll probably see in a video in a minute here.
Right.
But you probably won't notice it unless we tell you exactly where you need to look. That's the funny thing. So
with Bald Bull's Bull Charge, if anybody's played this game, that's pretty infamous in their brain because, here we go. That punch is very frustrating to land, and everybody's been through pain and suffering trying to time that. but it's actually queued for you if you look at the audience. So if you look in the top right part, wait, which fight is this?
It's the first row. It's the first row. It's the third guy from the right in the first row. He's holding a camera. There's a tiny little camera. Now watch the camera.
Flash, and that's when you're supposed to actually do it.
Wow.
There it is.
Like, look at that.
It's the most ridiculous thing.
Like, who would have noticed that? Because, like, you got this
It's like
guy
a pixel big.
and,
Yeah.
like, why in the hell would you be looking at the audience right now? This
Wow.
guy's barreling at you. You probably want to focus on him. But if you just hit it when you see the flash, you'll hit him.
There it is again.
That's insane.
I would never notice that one pixel.
Yeah.
That's
And
unreal.
there's actually another one for Bald Bull 2 that we can probably
It's
queue
even
up.
more subtle. It's like a guy.
Well, don't give it away. Don't give it away. But it's definitely different than this one. It's not the same. But I think the interesting thing about the Bald Bull 2 one is I still don't know who figured it out. Like this camera flash one was revealed by one of the programmers like 20 years later, right? So that was kind of, interesting. Like, oh,
I didn't know about Ball Bull 2 until, 2 days ago when you told me. And that blew my mind because when I heard about that flash, I went to Ball Bull 2 and I looked to see if there was any cues for him. And I didn't even see it, even when I was looking for it. It's extremely subtle. Like, even looking for it, you can't find it.
Yeah. I even know what to look at, and it's still
right. So for this one, look at there's in the first row on the left hand side, there's a guy with a beard, and he's right under the 5, like where it's 15 hearts. There's a guy with a beard. Okay.
I see him. I got him.
Okay. So check out the guy.
Oh my gosh.
Is that it? That's the cue?
That's it.
Yep,
It's
that's
very subtle.
That's not fair.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Alright.
So yeah, they put a lot of Easter eggs in this game, and a lot of intentional things. Like they actually did one with one of the codes, because the codes happen to be, I guess it's 10 digits. How many digits is it? Well, whatever it is, they put in. If you put in the Nintendo Power Hotline phone number, it'll actually play like a busy signal, because apparently, like anybody, if you ever called the Nintendo Power Hotline, it was always busy. This was before people waiting, apparently. So that was like another cool little Easter egg they put in, and another one they put in, which I don't really know what the purpose of it is they put in something called Another World Circuit, which is different from the normal world circuit in that basically you start at King Hippo. So this was very helpful for Adelicott, because when he was doing the King Hippo attempts, he could just put this code in. But you don't fight everybody. You just fight. It goes like King Hippo, Great Tiger, Bald Bull, Piston Honda, Soda Popinski, Sandman, Macho Man, Tyson, or something like that. And if you lose, then you're done. It's game over. So.
The interesting thing about it, like, I was disappointed as a kid because at the time I learned of it, I was really good at all these fights, and I thought it was going to be like new fighters, or these fighters, like a new version of them, because you got Ball Bull 1, Ball Bull 2, and I was like, holy crap, there's all these new fights to do, and it was the same fights. So, like, what's the point of it? It just adds 2 more fighters to the world circuit. There is one difference, I don't know if you knew about this, but it actually keeps your record. So as long as you only soft reset, like if you lose and you put the password in again, you'll have 1 loss. And so you can rack up, 99 wins that way too.
Oh, interesting. Actually, I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Not very useful, but... So again, I don't know why they programmed that. Maybe they were thinking of it being new fights, but ran out of time. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. And I guess one other thing, we did have a picture. The Mike Tyson's Punch-Out game was featured on a very popular game show at one point in time. I think we were maybe going to do like kind of a reenactment of what happened. Maybe not.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Yes, we are.
All right, we're going to do it.
Now, Diesel said it. It's gotta
Hopefully
happen.
everyone in the audience can answer this correctly now.
Right.
Hopefully.
Oh wait, that's the wrong picture.
Now, if I ever got on that show, they would never ask that question. There's
No.
no way.
Oh, of course not.
It'd be like, are you fucking serious?
There we go. Okay, so welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is our guest PJ De Cesar. How are you doing today, PJ?
A lot worse now that my name's been mispronounced.
Well, sorry about that. I'm very famous. I'm Regis Philbin, and I don't really care about that. So anyway, welcome back. You have all three of your lifelines. You're doing very well so far. You've made it all the way up to the $50,000 question. So are you ready to proceed?
I am.
You are? Okay. Well, before we do that, we understand that you're is it a speedrunner? Is that what you do?
No.
That's not what you do. Okay. Well, you play bad games, we've been told. That's
I've been known to play a bad game or two, yes.
a bad game or two. Okay. And you also do some kind of chat show or something like that, I guess?
Yeah, I don't recommend watching that.
Okay. Well, we'll avoid
I guess
that.
usually
Anyway.
fall through and we have this guy Sinister one.
He doesn't sound very good at all.
No.
All right. Well, all right. Let's play. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
All right,
So,
let's do it.
Let's do it. So your question, PJ. Which of these characters was not an opponent in Nintendo's popular boxing video game, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Von Kaiser, Super Macho Man, Soda Popinski, or Max Payne?
Yeah, I remember this game well. That's definitely C, Soda Popinski.
Well, hold on. Now, PJ, you do have all three of your lifelines. Would you like to perhaps poll the audience?
No, I don't think so. I don't really know how to use those.
You're very,
I think
you
I'm
seem
just
very
gonna-
confident.
Yep. I think I'm going to go with C, Soda Popinski.
You don't want to phone a friend.
I don't have any friends.
Well, that's a shame. That's very much a shame.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Now, you could do a 50-50 and at least kind of maybe, lower the field a little bit there, give yourself better odds.
Yeah, but then I might lose Soda Popinski, and then I lost. So, we'll just go with that one. Soda Popinski.
Is that your final answer?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I need a definite here, PJ.
Yep, definitely final answer.
All right, final answer. Well, PJ, I have to tell you, I'm sorry, but that is incorrect. You lose.
Oh,
It's my house,
PJ.
isn't it?
You lose all your money. You don't get any money at all.
All of my money.
All of your
It's
money
just
is
going to
gone.
take everything I have.
I'm very sorry.
I mean, not winning is one thing. I saved up a lot of money, though.
The correct answer was actually was D, Max Payne. Believe it or not, that was the correct answer.
Did the guy actually say Soda Popinski?
He got it wrong. I'm not sure exactly which one he said because all that I've ever seen is like just the screenshot. There's no video to go along with it, so we don't know what he answered, but we know it was wrong. That's all. So
That's
yeah, poor guy.
Max
I'm
Payne
surprised-
sneaks right in there.
I'm surprised he didn't go with Super Macho Man, because he must have been like, well, Macho Man's a real wrestler.
Well, look at this guy. I mean, obviously he's going to get it wrong.
Look at him. What do you mean?
His mistake was he didn't have a speedrunner, friend.
Why didn't you call me? Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't have your number. You were
Come on,
busy.
man. This guy's got glasses. He looks smart.
It's true. That's weird.
All right, we're gonna roll into some chat questions then.
All right. I guess can we do filler while we're waiting for the chat questions?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that
So
the deal?
while people are
Oh.
typing chat questions, let's hit the filler section.
Okay, don't be long because I need my beauty sleep.
No, we know, Flicky. It's very important for you to get your beauty sleep. Well, I just, I know that Caleb and Tiki had come on the show earlier, and I feel like it was grossly misrepresented this trip that we took to the gym, to the Gold's Gym. I was really painted to be quite a weakling, if you will, I think. And I think we actually have a video clip of when we went to the gym, believe it or not.
Yeah, fortunately one of them recorded it.
Yeah, I think this is taken with Tiki's camera phone, I believe.
Intrigued to see who is who in this. Hopefully I recognize all of you.
Well, I believe everybody knows Caleb Hart as a very, very strong individual. Very.
Oh, that's
buff.
him at the front. That's him at the front.
Yeah.
Yes, that must be
I remember
him.
those shorts of his.
And then I'm.
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's pretty much what happens when you go work out with Caleb Hart. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But yeah, no. In all honesty, we went to the gym. We had a pretty good workout, and see Tiki, who was bashing me so bad for not being able to hold this ultimately heavy 100-pound dumbbell that Caleb threw at my
Ultimately
face.
heavy.
It was 100 pounds, and he threw it at me. What am I gonna do?
Catch it and throw it back. One frame
the thing
trick.
Here's the thing. See, Tiki
Punch him before he
refused
releases.
to spot Caleb. Okay, so basically, I was having to spot Caleb every single time, and Tiki was just he was just kind of minding his own business, so he never had to face the wrath of Caleb as I did, and and I realized also that these guys are really young too, and everybody knows I'm old. I always make the joke about how I'm old, and Flicky even insulted me earlier and said, have you been playing Punch-Out for 25 years?
I meant it in the nicest possible way.
But what I came to realize is that, Tiki's only 18, and, of course he's going to be young and strong and everything like that, but
he's got a lot to learn.
Well, he's got a lot to learn, but I had a lot to learn that day because I thought about it and I was like, geez, I'm old enough to be Tiki's father. And then I started thinking and I was like, oh God, let me think about, okay, who was I having, relations with 18 years ago? And
then
a whole list of names came up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Be any one of these.
I think I figured it out though. I'm not actually not Tiki's father, but it was just a sad realization that I was of that age. So so they have a distinct advantage over me when it comes to going to the gym and working out. And I believe that we've been told that you're going to come next time, Flicky. Is this
Yeah.
true?
Yeah, I'm gonna come next time. I'm gonna lift Caleb over the top of my head.
Next time
He's
it'll be Flicky who gets thrown at Sinister by Caleb.
I think
will
we'll
have the camera for that one so that we can have something for the show.
That's my goal for next year, and I'm gonna go on a run with Runner Guy. Basically, I'm gonna try and make myself feel more shit compared to the rest of the other runners at the place than I did this year.
And then you're gonna drink 2 liters of water with peaches.
Never again. I did it once. Never again. It was
Do we have any questions yet? Or
oh, I don't.
I have
That was
I
a
have
question,
nothing.
but it
That's
was,
not the questions. Come on.
most people are asking how old other people
Yeah,
in
the
chat
first
are.
question I saw was how old Dunnius, but he already answered that.
Oh, so they don't have actual questions for the guests.
I mean, there
Well,
was
I
a
guess-
question. I mean, we'll ask a question if there isn't one. Someone asked a deli cat what size of deli pants does he wear?
Well, that's a trick question. A deli pants only come in one size, and it fits everything. So,
That size is awesome.
Here's a question. When's the Ocarina of Time episode? In about 9 months, when any of us have learned enough about the game to make a good show out of it.
To just not look like huge idiots on the
If
show.
not, it will just be when none of us are about. We'll just say, "Hey, Runner Guy, Cosmo, you guys are going to do a show by yourselves. Just explain everything about Ocarina of Time. We'll give you much as you want."
We'll give him the password to the
Just-
account.
Yeah, just try not to still be going the following Sunday when we need the show back. I've got a bit of echo. A deli cot. Sorry.
I did have one more filler item that I wanted to mention, and that was I just wanted to say thank you to Prevent Cancer Foundation. That's of course the charity that we do the main marathons for. They actually put on a luncheon for some of the runners that live locally.
No way.
Yeah, they did. So, Flicky, I'm sorry that you're so far away. Otherwise, I'm sure you would have been invited. But it was put on, and I think it was me, Mike Uyama, TJP, and Breakdown all came. They took us to a nice place in Old Town Alexandria, Virginia, and it was like a nice seafood restaurant, and it was a good time. And then they, of course, presented us with that huge, like 3-foot by 2-foot check. That's like, I think we had it at the marathon, the last one they gave us. But that was really nice of them. So I just kind of wanted to mention that as well.
That's I'm still mad that I wasn't asked to be interviewed. I heard that they were asked, like, oh, do you have someone who came from a long way, like a foreigner who came? And I was like, oh yes, time to get interviewed. And then they was like, yeah, Mike, come on. And I was like, fuck.
Yep.
Mike!
They were warned. They were like, here's a list of people you shouldn't talk to. Avoid at all costs.
Alright, here's a question that I quite like from SN64. Sinister One, which racial stereotype boxer do you identify with the most?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough because I'm mixed race. So it could be the Indian half of me wants to say that I identify with Great Tiger, but the American half of me, I guess, I identify with Super Macho Man. So if you mix those two together, I'm not sure who you really get.
Super Macho Tiger. Yeah.
Super Macho Tiger. That's gonna be my new screen name.
We got it. See, I wanted to change my screen name the other day. I found out
this picture.
See, I was not going to include this because I didn't want to make a delicate mad.
But somebody isn't worried about that, so.
I still think a deli cat sounds great. To deliver you sandwiches. I'm guessing that's cat food that comes in a jug.
It is cat food.
Why would you put solid food in a jug?
Because?
It's cool.
Either way, as you mentioned ID changes, I found out... Delicat, you're echoing a bit.
See, I told you it wasn't me.
No, but it was you earlier. Well, I can still hear me. Delicat, sort it out. Out. Okay, there we go. We sorted.
Okay.
There we are.
I found out that a friend of mine who's Italian, his dad is a doctor, and he worked with someone whose surname translated to of death, and his first name was Angelo. So his name was Dr. Angel of Death, was his translated name, and I was like, I need to change my ID to that.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't get much more badass than that. That's
So yeah, he was a literal doctor who worked in a hospital. So he would go into hospital beds when we were talking about if someone's like asleep and they can just overhear Dr. Angel of Death talking on the phone to someone.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I'm in his room right now. Yes. No, I'm... Oh, he doesn't look great, does he? Maybe we can help him out. Man, Dr. Angel of Death. That's his real name as well, so...
Alright, I spotted another question from our very own Mike89.
Oh, we have actually a question here we were meant to ask too. But you can ask him. Do his...
Okay, the Mike89 question, he says that he was going to ask Adelicott which his favorite Taz was, but figured that would be too cliche. So he's going to ask Adelicott what his favorite speedrun is, and ask me what my favorite Taz is.
Not allowed to say Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yeah.
Well, if I said Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that would be way too cliche, so I have another one in mind. But Adelicott, did you actually have a favorite?
I mean, obviously my favorite would be your single segment, Mike Tyson, because to me that's totally insane.
The one that you've never even seen yet. It's
so
just
maybe I really like the Super C.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good choice. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite games and a very impressive run. So
yeah,
I guess
I like that run quite a bit. I guess for my favorite Taz, I mean, yeah, Punch-Out is definitely one of them, so I would put that up there certainly. But just to be fair, so that it doesn't look like I'm biased towards the show that we're doing, I will say that Super Metroid by C. Padoff that was one of the very first Tazes that I saw, and I
Remember which of the 500 categories?
I know. He did an any percent, and at the time it stood for a long time, so it was one that was probably it was definitely before they found like the super broken stuff, but I can't remember which iteration it was. It was definitely before like Taco and Creole and all of them came along and really broke the game. But,
Okay, saying Taco and Creole is too much because I've been hungry ever since you said Red Toms. Because there's a brand of like crisps here, like they're puffy corn balls, and they're called Tangy Toms or Red Toms, and they're like the most delicious things, and they cost like 10 pence each. And ever since you said Red Toms, I've been like, oh my god, I'm so hungry. Now you said Taco and Creole? Like, what are you doing to me?
It's just their names.
Oh man, it's me. You have
Sabotage.
to change it to like Wacko and I don't know, something else. Anyway, I think what we'll do, we'll ask this last question, and then we'll do our shout-outs, and then we'll close the show down. That's not really what I meant to say, but finish the show.
That's it. That's
Here's
our
the
finale.
final one, and I fear that we're not going to get any interesting answers from this question, but I think I'll answer it anyway. So Steve the Dreamer wants to know, how do our family and relatives who aren't gamers feel about your speedrunning hobbies? Do you even bother to explain to them? Do they care or understand?
I can answer that one.
Yeah.
I know that my mom watched some of my runs in the last marathon, and she was like really excited about it, especially the blindfolded punch out. Because I think for somebody that's like on the outside, like just seeing like how can this person be playing blindfolded doesn't it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I know that she was very supportive of it, and so was my dad actually. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she's kind of like, yeah, whatever, you're a nerd.
Right.
Well, that's what you would expect if she...
At least with regular speedrunning, like on nerd levels, like you're less nerdy than a tasser. So I try to explain things to people and they just glaze over. My wife couldn't care less about what I do. Like she thinks it's totally ridiculous.
You just don't mention the word like scripts to them ever. Especially not what type of script it is. You're done for if you say that. So there's these things called Lua scripts. No, gone.
Yeah, it's over at that point.
I mean, as far as my parents go, I don't really even explain it to them because there's no point. They moan at me because I'm on the computer too much, or they used to at least, and that's like as far as it goes. Honestly, I try, if they ever get mad, or I just say, hey, I got to go to America because I do it, and then they'd be like, I guess it's okay then. So, I don't know, I mean, they're not that bothered, it's just video games. Really. I don't know about any of the rest of you.
Faisal,
Yeah.
you can go.
I mean, my family kind of has a vague idea, but they don't exactly know the details. But I don't really talk about it because, people's eyes kind of glaze over, mostly.
Well, yeah, we're all normal human beings, so we wouldn't try and explain it to someone who obviously doesn't care.
Right, you can't even explain it to your friends who, don't have games that they've played a lot or are really familiar with. And no one understands you speedrunning a game that they've never played before either, so you also have to know people that know the games you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't even talk about it to my friends that don't already know about it. If someone said, oh, like, what do you do? I would never say I speedrun, unless it came up later.
Well, I think something that everybody understands is money, so you can always lead with, well, we raised $150,000.
Yeah, charity. When people ask me, oh, why'd you go to America? And I was like, I went to this charity video gaming thing. Oh, really? Yeah, and then I try to explain speedrunning to them, and then every so often just remind them how much money we raised. And then they're okay with it. I don't know, that sounds pretty nerdy. Oh, but we got $150,000. That is a lot. Yeah, it is. Makes it okay now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That solves everything.
Yeah. So that's the trick. If you are planning on going to one of the marathons and people are asking why, say it's a holiday and it's a charity gaming event. That's how I've always referred to it.
Yeah.
If you really want to push your luck, say it's a charity gaming seminar or conference or even convention, if you're really up for it. Let's wrap up the show then, shall we? You got some shout-outs or hellos or greets? You can't have that many, Sinster, because you've done some of these already.
Yeah, I think I did do some of them, but I mean, I definitely wanted to shout out all the old school players that kind of made it possible for me to even like get good at speedrunning this game, including a Delicate, of course. And Matt Turk, because he helped me along the way as well. Already talked about Prevent Cancer Foundation. They're awesome. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Forensics, because he's an awesome guy. He runs Super
right.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant the School of Science. And I was like, huh?
Because they helped him figure out that
Well,
Tiki
They-
wasn't
yeah,
the sun.
exactly.
I think I have a chance of beating some of my runs now because of Forensics, because he like brings such luck to whatever stream he goes into, or if you can just mention his name, and you'll automatically get whatever RNG you need. Like if you need a drop, or if you need a pattern, or whatever it is, it automatically will happen.
I will
So-
just say to everybody, if you're running any game, let's say, you know, NES, SNES, that kind of, that sort of generation, make friends with the TASer, and they will help you out no end. You'll be like, man, I wish I could get this, and the TASer will be like, yeah, I'll make maps for every level for you. Oh, really?
I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah, make friends with the TASer. You will not regret it.
Yeah, people don't understand how much like the task community and the speedrun community kind of, you know, interrelate to each other in a way. I mean, if you're really working on a hardcore speedrun, non-tool assisted, you still have to, I mean, you have to be familiar with what's going on in the task community as well. And sometimes crossover happens vice versa, and it's pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
There's definitely no rivalry. I know a lot of people, when I've explained to them TASers are normal, they're like, is there any like rivalry? Like, do you hate those guys? No. Well,
Long ago.
Yeah. It's like, they make speedruns too.
But yeah, they're mutually beneficial.
It's like, yeah, but they
Ocarina of
use,
Time, like,
Yeah.
you know, speedrunners keep breaking the task records, and, you know,
Well-
other games, like, we've come up with a lot of good strategies that can be done in real time, so.
I guess a lot of the reason there's no kind of anger or whatever is because it's so clear when one's a TAS and one isn't, because you put the disclaimer all over the videos. So you're never pretending to be real.
And I think now the tasks are typically so over the top, it's a lot less
Yeah.
believable
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
speedrun. Whereas the first tasks were basically decent speedruns, you know, and then it just kind of went crazy. So it's a little bit easier to distinguish just off of that.
Anyway, so Adeli Cott, I'm guessing you probably got a list of shout-outs.
Oh,
At
do
least
I?
a few people. I don't know. I figured you're pretty famous.
Well, I'll shout out, like Sinister said, any old school Mike Tyson's Punch-Out players. They kind of started all of this insanity and got me into a very insane world. So I guess I appreciate that. And of course, I want to shout out to everybody in the Task Videos community. So,
That's it. That is technically a lot of people.
Yeah,
See, yeah.
there's a lot of people.
That
You
is-
shouted out to hundreds and thousands of people, so
Yeah, that's cheating.
as per usual, then
I'll just list them all one by one. Would you prefer that?
as per usual,
Can I just say one last thing?
oh, go on.
Last thing, I swear. I know you're hungry. I'm going to stream Mike Tyson's Punch-Out after the show is over, so anybody that actually wants to see some gameplay, I will be streaming it.
That works very well. You expecting 250 viewers?
No, not at all, but I think I might get a couple.
But yeah, no, that's cool. We actually had quite a lot of viewers tonight, and I don't think there was any particular person sending them all over, so that was pretty good. So
Yeah, we broke 300, I think.
we broke 300 for quite a while, so
Yes,
I mean, could be some task guys who are coming into.
yeah, could be. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Obviously, we got all the videos we talked about today will be linked below. I will update this table of names and VODs and so on. Don't worry about it. It's just that I've been going to sleep as soon as the show's done because I have to wake up in the mornings. Anyway, yeah, cool. We'll see you next week with Wait, what is next? There's nothing next week, right?
Mystery game.
Mystery game again,
Mystery game next week.
which
It's a
totally
secret.
mystery
secret's
game
everything
totally
exact.
doesn't mean that we don't have anything planned yet.
It means we have too many plans. Our
So
inbox
I
is-
should expect to hear from you guys on like Thursday or
Yeah,
so?
Thursday
Yeah.
night.
Thursday or Friday, maybe.
Something like that.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of our inbox is full. As always, if you guys break any records or have any hot news that you want us to share, Feel free to PM any of us, Flicky, Feasel, or myself, on the SCA forums or IRC or Twitch.
If you could PM just one of us instead of all of us
do
every
us all,
time,
do us all.
because
all
I
of them.
keep getting all these messages and adding them in, and it's like, oh, PJ already did it.
But
I don't know.
We do have our own email account right now, too.
Check us out using Gmail, which is just what is it? The Sunday Sequence Break at gmail.com.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, check us out next week. Thanks, Delicot and Sinister One. So we had we had super higher ups now. We need one of the admins from SRL on, and now we're set, right? Got the trifecta of speedrunning website admins.
That's
I
right.
think so.
the Summit meeting.
So we'll get Cosmo on. I don't know. We'll get fun one. Or we can make it fun and get Jabe on and try and figure out what he'd talk about. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Mystery game. No idea what's going on. Hope you enjoy your week. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.